On the air. Hey, this is Ross Payton with Roleplay Public Radio. We're playing Delta Green, Call of Cthulhu, Cascadia. This is for Patreon backers. This is a scenario I have run for the RPPR group. The actual play of this should be online very soon, or certainly probably by the time you're listening to this, if you're listening to that. So you can see how the RPPR players did, including Aaron, how they tackled this conundrum. But you can compare it to the players here, the Patreon backers. So the mission briefing is all of your characters get a. Well, actually, first off, are all of you familiar with Call of Cthulhu and how the system works?
This will be my first time playing it, but it's very similar to Eclipse Phase, so I should be
Yes,
okay.
it is a percentile system. You roll under your skill. If I give you sometimes there might be attribute checks, like a dex check, in which case I'd say dex times 5, so you take your character's dex, multiply by 5, and treat that as a percentile score. If I ask you, there are certain attributes that are also like knowledge, luck, and idea, in which case I can give you checks in those. Those are percentile checks. We're going to be using, I use an app called Dice Stream, which you can, which you should see on the left bar, which you can load up and roll online. Just use the little percentile thing, click roll to add one die, and it'll give you a number. Or you can roll your own dice. It's on the honor system. If you're just rolling success on all the times, I'll probably roll for you, but that hasn't been a problem all the games I've run so far. Keep in mind, characters have not many hit points. Guns do a lot of damage, so, characters are pretty fragile. Think about that before you, charge into the nest of marauding, Tommy gun-wielding cultists, or what have you. Do you have any questions about anything? Yeah, or the sniper rifle wielding ones, yeah. Certainly there are quite a few things to be aware of, threat-wise. I will have a house rule. Your characters you're all indoctrinated. This is part of the Delta Green is now a legitimate part of the government. It's an interdepartment task force / agency, so you're all pulled from different things. So you can all choose to have Cthulhu Mythos or not. If you do, you can have 5 points of Cthulhu Mythos at the cost of 10 sanity.
I'll keep my sanity.
Okay, well, fine.
I'm in.
Well, just keep track of that, because there will be chances to use it in the scenario, obviously. And what else? Yeah, just common things. If you're moving around or if you're not doing anything, probably try and mute your microphone. You think you're taking a drink or whatever. Just common courtesy. So, are there any questions about anything on your character sheet or anything like that? Nope. All right. Also, Matthew, think of sanity as mental hit points. If you go to 0, your character's totally crazy. If you lose 5 or more at once, you get a temporary insanity, which I kind of house rule as fight or flight, like I must die, or something, primitive kind of reaction like that. If you lose a fifth or more of your character's total within an hour of game time, you get an indefinite. Like if you see someone get grabbed by a tentacle and pulled in the ocean, you would maybe have a fear of open water or the ocean or something like that, or seafood. So something that kind of makes sense based on the trauma that you've suffered. This is a one-shot, so probably not going to come up as much because,
Charge blindly into the monsters.
Basically.
We will die anyway.
Anyway, all of your characters are get a voicemail from it's a synthesized voice saying, "You are cordially invited to a night at the opera. Please, you will have receive travel vouchers for an immediate flight or book a drive to Washington State University in Pullman, Washington, as fast as humanly possible. A murder, a murder of a geologist, Dr. Charles Curtis, was found early this morning, and it is of interest to the group. You will receive your handler for the mission is codenamed George. He wants your initial job is to go to the scene, look at it. You will be given credentials to establish you as FBI agents or the Washington State Police as a liaison. Because we are taking the case off the local police. Of interest, Dr. Curtis had 2 samples in his lab. We believe they've been taken that are of interest. They correspond to barcodes kept in a sample drawer, from what I understand. There's barcode A, which is of primary interest to the group, and barcode B. We believe this corresponds to files in our archives, which have yet to be digitized. So you are to find out as much about these 2 samples as possible. If they find out if they are still there, and to find out, what happened to Dr. Curtis. More information will be made to you after a conference call with George. So that is where we will pick up. All of you arrive. Let's see here, fairly close to one another at the Washington State University. You can all actually give me luck checks. And I'll say the person with the lowest roll that succeeds on the lowest roll gets to be there first.
32 out of 50.
32 out of 50, so that's a success.
85 and a failure at that.
85, so okay, you're not showing up first. You got stuck in traffic or something.
86 out of 85.
86. All right, so yeah, Tim, go ahead and introduce your character. You are first on the scene.
Hi, I'm playing Bill Howes, a geoint analyst of the geodetic type. I am with sorry, I have to rememorize it, the National Geospatial Intelligence Agency. We do maps and basically anything involving terrain that the Defense Department might need, we do it. So.
All right. Very good. So I need to look at that U.S. Guardian. Is that a link to is that an offhand reference to the last game, Call of Cthulhu game I ran?
No. Actually, I was looking for a weird thing that happened.
Okay.
That would, be a good entry point for, implied weirdness.
All right, very good. So you're there first, and this will make some of your checks a lot easier because you have very appropriate skills for this. So you've been given an FBI badge for this operation because Delta Green, even though it's part of the legitimate government, part of DHS, obviously you are tasked with finding things that are, not supposed to be revealed to the public. Does your character? Did you choose to take Cthulhu Mythos or not?
I did not. I did not see the weird thing firsthand.
Okay, so you have not personally encountered it. However, you have received extensive briefing documents about things that you would dismiss as conspiracy theories. If this wasn't handed to you by your supervisors or very serious government agents.
Right.
So you expect the unexpected is what you're told, and the fact that they have so many references to centuries-old grimoires and books, it seems to be a little unsettling to you. But so you don't know much about the history of the group. You've heard the words Delta Green associated with it, but you don't know much about its operational history or about the kind of threats that they have. You're often asked to analyze things that, like, what happened here? Did something blow up in this mountain, or was that a avalanche, or what? And things that So far, this is actually your first field mission. So you go in there and you wave your badge. There is a local police there who is. This takes place this happened on the campus. This is a lab in a building with a lot of different labs. Not just the geology department, but there are other labs and offices and classrooms in the building. He just waves you in, unless you want to ask him questions, so you can go straight to the scene, or you can talk to the officers. The officer does say that the detective on the scene, Detective Peterson with the Pullman local police, already bagged and tagged a lot of evidence and took it to the police station as well as the body. It's at the morgue, which is at the police station. So he says nothing else. He just assumes you know what you're doing. So what do you want to do?
Well, I'm not an actual police tell person, so I'm not going to try to do anything law enforcement wise. I'll leave that to the people that are going to be following me.
Okay.
I'm going to take a look at the lab.
All right. You go to the lab. It looks like it has been trashed to a certain degree. You also see blood spatter and a pool of blood on the ground, and looks like little indicators that there has been a body there. So this is your first time at a murder scene because you're, an analyst. So go ahead and give me that beautiful stand check.
All right.
Someone
nope, failed.
Failed. All right. Well, this is unsettling, but it's not the. You lose 2 points of sanity. As you're like, oh god, this is only going to get worse, isn't it? This is how your day is starting. So it's not a good thing. You do see that there is a shelf along the wall, a wooden one. It looks like the kind of thing that libraries used to keep Dewey Decimal cards in, with lots of different little drawers. But each little drawer has a barcode on the placards. The little place where you put the title card or whatever you want to call it. And you can see several of them have been pulled out. And so you can give me a geology check to see if you can. You can just analyze the situation. You mean
okay. Geology? All right. 44. 44. Success.
Okay. Well, it doesn't look like some of the stuff was damaged, but some of the equipment has been damaged, but it doesn't look like it was extensively. The object, it looks like it was more incidental, so it looks like you do find the two things, the barcode A and barcode B. They're both been taken. You see barcode B has little samples inside it, little flecks of a green-looking crystal. There's actually a working microscope. There's nothing in the little drawer where barcode A was kept. So it looks like both of them have been taken, but there's enough sample for you to look at barcode B. So with your success, you could either put, there's a working microscope nearby. You could actually look at it and identify what's in barcode B, or you could try and get a bigger picture of what's going on.
I think I want to get a bigger picture before I go to the minutia.
Okay. You flip through what's there. The computer is still there. It is still on. You can turn it on. It is password protected, though. At least parts of it are, as you try to reference barcode A. Barcode, you do get a sense that it looks like, for you, like somebody was coming here specifically for these two samples.
Right.
But maybe you get a sense that Dr. Curtis was held here to, show me where these things are, and Dr. Curtis was compelled to show them to him. But it also looks like Dr. Curtis was conducting research here very recently, up until he was killed, trying to analyze something. But all of this is hidden behind password-protected and encrypted files. It looks like which is very unusual for an academic because it's an open lab, it's a government funded thing. It's not supposed to be like that. So it looks like he was conducting covert research on the side on something that he didn't want anyone to find out anything about. And it looks like it was mostly connected to barcode A. So you don't. So that's what you figure out. So next up, I will say, Matthew, did you get the 86? Did you barely fail?
Yes, just
all right.
Fail by 1.
All right, so you show up next. So introduce your character.
Yes, I am playing Allison Endicott, a detective with the Washington State Police, formerly a beat cop with the local police. I got recruited into the group after a very unfortunate case involving a meth dealer and the Carcosa infecting his apartment. I have tried to forget all that.
So you took the mythos and the sanity.
No, I did not take the mythos. I was just like, it was a...
I would say you would have to if you've actually
Okay.
had first-hand contact with the mythos. So either you could have still liaised. That still could have happened, but you were outside the apartment, so you actually didn't see anything. You just saw the FBI agents go in, then 3 went in, 2 came out, and then they told you to cover it up.
I'll take it. So that's 5 sanity?
It is 10 sanity and 5 Cthulhu mythos. You don't get any insanities from that because this is over a period of time, and you've had time to, deal with it.
All right.
Okay, so you go in there. The cop probably recognizes you. It's Officer Willis. He is. Oh, hey, Allison, how are you doing?
Oh, hey Willis. How's it going back
Well,
in,
it's kind of.
hometown?
Oh well, up until this, it was nice. It was a very some kind of robbery or something. I don't know. He didn't take much.
That's weird.
Yeah. Looks like he was stabbed a bunch. The doctor was stabbed a bunch. Janitor found him around 5:30, as he was making his rounds. The Detective Peterson's out figuring, bagging, tagging certain forms and stuff like that. But they didn't do a very cursory things because the feds got on the horn pretty much as soon as we entered the Dr. Curtis's name in there. It looks like Curtis is doing a lot of Fed research, so I guess maybe that makes it something else.
Typical of them blundering into our work and messing up.
Yeah, well, if they take it off our hands, that's fine. That won't affect our quota. Won't affect our stats for the, we got to look good for the city council. If it's a federal murder, we can't be blamed if nobody gets caught for it. So I'm fine with it. Like, I don't want my stats to get fucked up for this year. I don't go back to writing speeding tickets. So anyways, Willis is pretty jaded. But so that's the evidence he offers you for free. So you can keep talking to him, or you can go in the scene.
Well, I'll let's get niceties out of the way and go into the lab.
Okay. So you go into the lab. You see Tim's character. Your characters have never met, but you know that you're supposed to be working with one another. Because he has a fake FBI badge that it's a fake FBI badge. Well, I mean, he's not a real FBI agent, but it'll check out with the FBI. So you two can talk to each other.
Hey, Bill. I shake his hand.
Yeah. Allison, her.
So, have you done a lot of these?
I try to avoid them for the most part, but group comes first.
Okay. My last one, I was just listening to the radio as the people who took my advice yelled a lot.
That's a great way of describing it. I like that. You get a fate point, which doesn't matter in this game. So, Allison, you can make a check of some sort if you want to search through that. You can always use spot hidden if you have.
Spot hidden. I'm very good at spotting that.
Go ahead and do that.
Yes, 49.
There's an overturned trash can with paper spilling out of it. You rummage through that a little bit and you find a bunch of scientific forms and papers and printouts and whatnot. But there is a doodle in there that looks very unusual. It looks like a person's face, but it has 3 eyes, 2 where they should be, and then the third one up in the middle of the forehead. A person's it's kind of stylized. And to you, it's a different handwriting style than the forms of most of them. It looks like, you can tell Dr. Curtis's sort of cursive, near medical doctor-esque handwriting versus a very strong block hand on this So one, you could fingerprint this doodle. Looks like someone was here, doodled it, and threw it away. Also, with the blood spattered, you can see there are several smaller stains around the lab, and a larger pool looks like Dr. Curtis was cut several times in various places in the lab, and then finally stabbed multiple times in one location, and then collapsed. So, with multiple minor stab wounds, you can kind of tell maybe somebody held him here, or somebody was here with him, and cut on him for a while.
All right. Well, I'll bag up the drawing for later analysis.
Yeah, one thing you can also do, both of you can send evidence into the group for analysis. Allison, do you have a cult? You do not.
I do not.
So,
5%.
yeah, well, you could go ahead and make that. Bill, you do not have that either, so. If you have that, you could try and identify the symbol.
Nope.
All right, so both of you are there. Finally, we have Philip showing up. So, Philip, you see the same doctor, or the same cop at the door. So go ahead and introduce your character.
Yeah, I'm playing Dennis Kiger. He is an arson investigator with the ATF. Athletic guy, but his face is kind of disfigured by scars, which he's trying to hide under a badly growing beard. And he approaches the cop, flashing the FBI badge, and
the cop will let you in. You can talk to him though if you want.
Now, if he isn't trying to talk to me right away, I just walk in.
All right, you just walk in. You see the murder scene. You've seen blood spattered, murder scenes before, so no sanity check for you. But you see your two colleagues, so they look at you. You look at them. You can introduce yourself to them.
Yeah, a good day. Kiger. I state my last name and extend my hand.
All right.
Howdy, Bill.
Hey.
Allison.
Okay. So the three you can look around at the crime scene. I assume the other two characters tell you what they found, so you can make a skill check of some sort to try and figure something out. There's multiple angles. I'll allow multiple types of skills. Let's see here. You could use chemistry, actually, to help identify what the sample is. I would allow that. Because you can look to see some of the papers that have been discarded in the trash, and you think they identify with the sample from B. Or you could try or you could use forensics. You could try and reconstruct a crime scene. You actually have forensics. So,
yeah.
All right.
I point out those stains and then continue looking at the room with forensics.
Yes.
99.
Okay. No one was killed here. This is pig's blood. You're fine. No, I'm not. I've been running a lot of Trail of Cthulhu and Gumshoe type games, so I will give you the core clue for free. Well, you can't figure out much, but you can figure out that the killer held Dr. Curtis for some time and was torturing him for information before he finally killed him. And so you don't have any autopsy report or anything, so you don't know how long this took how long a time, but it looks like he was talking to him. He had him for a while. So you can probably get fingerprints or things like that if the local police haven't already. But yeah, it looks like the killer knew what was here and was trying to get Dr. Curtis to reveal, but it obviously took some convincing to get Dr. Curtis to give up whatever sample A was, and sample B. You can call in to George, your case handler. He can give you more of a background meeting. He wanted you to assess the scene first and see if you had any theories for it, and he can give you more background information because this relates. You all know the way Delta Green works is that these cases, when you're sent out in the middle of the night to go, is because something about this initial case report triggered a keyword a keyword was flagged and so Delta Green was alerted. So you're not sure exactly what that was, but George will probably be able to dig up that information, tell you. So you can call him now. You can continue investigating, or you could go to the police station. You could call Detective Peterson. Like with forensics, you could Kiger could help with the autopsy of the body, the examination of it, of the murder victim. There's a lot of things you can do. So you guys can talk. What are you feeling?
I think we should check in with our handler first. See if we can get a bit more background, and then check out what the police have found.
Cell phone conference call?
Yeah, basically.
Yep.
Yeah.
We can do it right here.
Sorry, what was that, Philip?
Nothing important.
Okay. All right, so you call up George. You close the door to the lab so no one can hear you. George, you hover over one of your cell phones as you can to talk to George. Good morning, team. I'm sorry to bring you into this case so quickly, but this triggered I've determined that the reason this case was flagged was the victim was formerly a friendly to the group. Friendlies are not full agents, but consultants or experts that help with certain investigations. Dr. Curtis helped with one operation in the past. I do not have access to these the case in particular yet. This apparently was. I will try and track down the case file that he was inferenced. There is the sample. He was entrusted with a sample, I think, and that he was trying to analyze it to learn more about it for the benefit of the group. I think. I'm not sure what the sample was or anything like that. So what have you learned so far?
Not too much right now. We've probably one or two assailants. Samples have been stolen. Most of what we got in the first briefing. We have discovered a strange paper in his trash can. Describe occult symbols and doodle on it to him.
You could probably take a picture of it and send it
Yes.
to us.
Yeah.
Two. So,
Yay, smartphones, woo, magical. So you do that, and you hear sort of a sigh from George's end. So,
that's not good.
you can all give me psychology checks if you want.
Terrible.
Sure.
Good at that. Nope.
81 out of
He's
20.
fine.
So all of you failed?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, well,
I will reference that symbol and get back to you. So I will perform some research. I will look into that symbol for you. You have so I would suggest you contact the local police department, find out what they have. Find out if also we need to, part of our operation is to maintain security. So you must go to Dr. Curtis's house and find any and all material related to this case. Now, since you don't know what the case is, it is better to be safe than sorry. I will take everything remotely appropriate, and I will direct you to a storage facility that it can be stored at. It's for safekeeping. If anything else.
Yeah, relating to operational security, it seems like the assailant or assailants were here a while and might have interrogated or tortured Curtis, so they knew there was something here and might have been searching for it specifically. So if someone was in the group or related to the group leaked this information, we would need to know.
I will look up the case file that Curtis is related to while you were conducting your investigation. Unfortunately, every other name on that case is no longer available for interview.
Uh-oh.
So
I have a question.
Yes.
His computer is encrypted, kind of
Yes.
unusual for university.
Yes. Oh, yes. Very, very unusual.
If he was working for you, do you happen to have his passwords?
No. I will again. He had a separate handler that he reported to. I am trying to get in contact with the handler to get that. Secure the hard drives. Take them from the scene. And anything at his house. If you can break of course, if you can break the encryption on your own, you have the full permission of the group to do so, as long as the data itself is not compromised.
All right.
So if you have any, I do not know your level of expertise. If you
Moderate, I would say.
You're in the field, it's your judgment call.
Okay.
But you will be judged on it. So it will take me time to get that information.
All right.
Okay. So out of character, you can try making a computer use check. Don't critically fail it.
All right. Flagrant system error.
You failed.
Made it dead on. 61 out of 61.
Very good. You realize that it is password protected. However, you look through the trash and you can see a sticky note that was crumpled up and thrown away. And so you, on a hunch, type that password in. Looks like Dr. Curtis had op security, but op security lapses after a certain period of time, especially if you're a fucking geologist in a state university. So you open it up. You actually sees it is a cross-reference between interactions. He's analyzing sample A, which he only refers to it by the barcode number. It's like a 7-digit number. Barcode B, though, is identified as trinitite.
Okay.
So, do you know what trinitite is? I mean, you as a person.
I think I do. I'm double checking to make sure.
Okay. So you can check that. But it looks like his current study was to try and determine interactions between sample A and sample B because of vis-a-vis radiation.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Do you want to explain what trinitite is? Did you find it?
Yep. It is the glassy residue left after the nuclear bomb test at Trinity, the Trinity site.
Yes.
Oh, that's not good.
It is now illegal to collect. It was legal to collect from the bomb sites in the 50s and 60s, but now it's no longer legal to collect it. So it is only available to researchers and in the hands of certain private collectors. Certainly a very exotic material. Radioactive, nuclear fused glass made from desert sand is kind of weird. So that's weird. That's weird. So you could continue investigating. For example, try and figure out how the looks like only the lab itself was processed as a crime scene. It looks like they've only you don't know what else they've processed. You can go out and talk to the cops, see if they looked at anything else, or you can go to his house, or you can split up. I mean, you all have cell phones, so you can talk to each other. So
I'll call Detective Peterson.
Okay.
See if I can get what he knows.
Okay, so you're talking to Detective Peterson.
While you are at the phone with him, can you ask him to prepare all the files for us?
Okay. That would be definitely a persuasion check, because do lots of paperwork for us, for the goodness of your heart.
Oh, I've got decent persuasion, so I think I can get him to do it.
You can give it a shot. And Tim, what about you?
I'm going to try to gather what's been scattered about the lab and see if I can come up with an idea of what he was trying to work on. That and the computer.
You can make a geology check for that. And Philip, what about you? After you ask Allison to do that.
I think I will look at the ways of entry into this room, if they are like a damaged window or a damaged door or something like that.
You can give me another forensics checks to try and figure out how he done it.
81 out of 81, by the way.
Nice. Okay.
53 out of 60.
Okay, very good.
Ooh.
So you two
17
are,
out of 55.
yeah. So Allison calls up Detective Peterson. Detective Peterson is like recognizes Alice. Oh, hello, Alice. Oh, you're working this case, huh? Yeah, I heard the big shots are wanting this.
Yeah, they needed some assistance getting around town and just a local sort of perspective help.
Yeah.
So I'm just getting information from them on this case.
Well, we took the body. The weapon wasn't found. Looks like it was a knife. Serrated edge, maybe pretty big, like a combat knife or something. Something you get at a flea market. Sharp though. No one. We're looking. No eyewitnesses, except for the person who found the body. No sign of the killer. Kind of very anomalous. Didn't leave any obvious mistakes. So yeah. What do you want to know?
Just what you've taken out of a crime scene. Anything like strange about the body?
He was, lots of minor cuts over, like his several of his fingernails were pried off with a knife. His nose was severely cut. He looks like somebody tortured him. Looks like there are signs that he was not restrained per se, except like he was. So whoever was it was scary enough that they didn't have to tie him up. Or Dr. Curtis was an older man, so whoever was doing this was a lot stronger and faster than he was.
Any bruising? So like grapple marks.
Looks like yes. Not all of his fingernails were ripped off, and there is tissue underneath some of them. Looks like Dr. Curtis did fight back at some point, which may have led to being stabbed. So maybe he wasn't even going to get killed at all. I'm not sure, but yeah, it looks like Dr. Curtis did fight back. And he was, it looks like he was forced down and then stabbed repeatedly. I don't know, some sort of brief scuffle. Whoever had it knew what they were doing. Looks like the coroner's initial assessment is that the killer knew anatomy quite well. Went straight for a stabbed him right in between the ribs, right into the heart. He bled out very quickly for the fatal blow, but he was worked on for a while in areas that were not life-threatening. So a very vicious son of a bitch, it sounds like.
Interesting. Did you take anything from the crime scene?
Yes. He had some personal effects: his cell phone, wallet, house keys, things that were on him, left at his house, or left on him, left there at the scene. He had a laptop which we took. It is password locked. Where our technician is trying to open it up. We're not sure. We're trying to talk with we didn't take any of the equipment there because it looked too big to fit in our van, or to unplug, and it's lab equipment. The killer obviously didn't steal it, so yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Oh wait, you can give me a persuade check real quick.
Wait, check. Thank you. Yes. Oh, there we go. No, that's a fail. 63 over 55.
Okay. Well, that's all you get then. Let's see here. Next up, Philip. You look through the crime scene, and then you look at the lab, and then you look at the building itself. The building does have securities. There is a passcode. They use key cards to get in. Looks like, especially after hours, it is a building open in public during business hours, but obviously after hours you have to, be allowed. You have to have a key or a key card to get in. So, um, what you do find though is that there's a security panel that looks like it's been tampered with. You can see, and one of the locks of the outer door looks like it's been picked. You see little scratches that look like a telltale mark of somebody picking the lock fairly quickly, not being too careful about it. So so you can somebody with electrical repair, you can make a check to diagnose the security system.
I would try that. 13, and I have a 40 in electrical repair.
All right, that
Nice.
certainly makes it. So you look at the security system, and it looks like somebody with expertise. Somebody was waiting outside the building. Dr. Curtis checked in at 9 o'clock. He walked into the lab at 9 p.m. And then shortly, sometime between 9 and 11, the security systems were compromised by somebody who knew what they were doing, but sort of in a hurry. So somebody with who knew how to disable or to get in without raising any alarms, but who didn't take care, to set every little circuit back in place, so someone looking at it would know, oh, somebody was here last night. So somebody with some skill in B&E jobs. That is what you pick. So the killer was there between. Dr. Curtis got there at 9. The killer was there, came in sometime by 11 p.m. or between 9 and 11, and was there, and the body was found at 5:30. So the killer left sometime before then, obviously, with the 2 samples. And you do get for example, there are security cameras in the building, and they were looped. That's why the circuit box was disturbed, or the panel was disturbed. It was not a perfect job. He actually looped part of him walking into frame. It's a tall man in a hoodie. He looks Caucasian. But it's just from the corner of the frame that you see. So you have a picture of the killer, but this is not CIS. You cannot zoom in and enhance.
Yeah.
It's a tall Caucasian man in a hoodie, pulled up over around his head, so you can't see him very well. Wearing gloves. Yeah. You get a sense. Okay, this is someone who knows what they're doing. Somebody with a purpose. This is not a random event.
Yeah.
So that's what you figure out. Tim, what were you
Yes.
doing again?
I was trying to get like a bigger picture view, just
Okay.
out of what he was doing.
So you see through his files that this is part of a long-term project. You also see from his unencrypted files that he has a lot of dummy work set up to getting doing a federal grant proposal for some big study over. You actually see it's a lot of bullshit. This is a part of a long-standing job. He has been focused on doing this for years. He's been diverting resources and time away from the university to focusing on analyzing an unknown object for the group. And he basically, but a lot of his research is he would only work on. He doesn't keep the entire project on here. He would after so many months, he would download the files onto a disk or something, then take it home. So all of his master research is kept at home. But you already have the passwords for it because you found the password here. It's the same thing. So you just need to get home before the police do and steal those hard drives. If you want to get that information. But it looks like this object, from what you can tell, is, well, very fucking mysterious. The guy is very frustrated. This is you can't tell if this is a Moby Dick Ahab situation, but it's apparently not an object that is easily understood or something that can be analyzed. So that's yeah.
I think we need to get to his house.
Yeah.
Yeah, sounds likely.
So
Don't they have a laptop?
they
The
do have a
police?
laptop at the police station. Yes.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I think
Okay.
securing the house would be more important,
Well,
Yeah.
unless we split up.
we could split up.
Okay. What do you want to do?
I'll take the house.
Okay. You head to the house. Matthew, where do you want to go?
I mean, if you how about you grab the house, then I'll run and grab the laptop from the police station.
Also, to give you guys a sense of a timeline, he was killed at 5:30 this morning. You guys, the call was put out in the hour, and you guys spent, let's say it's about 1 o'clock. You only had, the killer has about 7 hours on you. So he is, the more time you spend without knowing where to get him, the worse off it is. So time is important. So Tim is going to the victim's house. Matthew, where are you going?
Police station to get the laptop.
All right. Philip, where are you going?
Is the body also the police station?
Yes, the morgue, for the sake of convenience, the morgue is there.
Then I will join Allison on the way to police station.
Okay.
And before we leave, I think we should notify the cop at the door about the tempered circuits and all that, so they can process it as a crime scene.
Okay. You notify them. They're like, oh wow, oh okay. Ooh. They're not used to dealing with this kind of level of sophistication in their criminals, as they're more used to drunken college students and petty thieves.
Yeah, I make them feel like amateurs talking with them.
All right, very good. Yeah, no, they'll like that. Oh boy, yeah, no, they'll be real cooperative after that. So they are. So I'll say, Tim, you get to the house first. It's pretty close by. Dr. Curtis lives near. He lives in a nice house. There is actually a police car there. There is a older man there wearing a suit, bald and bearded, and there's uniformed police officer. The older man looks like he has a keychain in hand and looks like he's looking at the keys. So you pull in just as they're trying keys on the door. It looks like they don't know which key will get in the door. So what do you want to do? I'll say that you can either, if you want to be total Delta Green cowboy and sneak around them and try and ninja it out, you could, or you could just walk up to them and like, hey.
I wish one of the more law enforcement oriented people were with me because they could do cop talk. But I'm gonna walk up to them as an FBI agent.
Oh, hello. Hi. What are you using your real name as your FBI agent name, or do you have a fake name?
How about Gregory Warner?
Gregory Warner. Hello, Agent Warner. I am Detective Peterson. This is Officer Willis. We're
Pleased to meet you, Bob. Please.
looking to see if his house is there, see if the killer stole anything from here. Maybe he was Curtis. We're thinking maybe Curtis was forced to come here. Yeah, just check out.
Good instincts. I'm gonna have to ask you to hold up on entering the building now. The professor, we just got this in ourselves. He was working on some sensitive information for the government. Something DoD related. I'm not even cleared for it.
I see. Do you have fast talk or persuade?
No. Well, I have fast talk and persuade. I'll take the higher of the two.
Which
They're
is?
both 15.
All right.
Miracles happen.
They do.
Not today.
Look, whatever's in there, we're not gonna tell the press, but we need to check the scene. So, here's the door. He unlocks it and walks in. So here's the thing: just because you don't have social skills doesn't mean you can't trick them. If you can give them a plausible story, like look over here, don't mind me while I disconnect the hard drives. If you can give them something to distract them, they will be distracted, giving you time to pull the hard drives out. Or you could just, they're probably going to want to take the computer because that will have all the information. victim.
Mhm.
Obviously, the killer seems to, as Detective Peterson walking in as well, it sounds like, the killer knew who the victim was, targeted him, was trying to get something specific out of the lab. So or did something to piss him off. So we need to figure out if he was working on. I mean, so he starts walking around.
Okay.
Will says, "Oh, what about his wife?" It's like, "Oh, Curtis is divorced." So they talk a little bit about gossip. So I don't know. I'll be generous in allowing other things. You could make a spot hidden check. You to see something that might be useful, or you could use some other skill. You could try and bullshit with a technical skill, or I don't know.
Okay.
While you're thinking about that, we'll get back to the other two.
Okay.
So Allison and Kiger show up to the police station. Desk sergeant's like, "Oh, Detective Peterson went out to the victim's house, but he'll be back in a little bit." And you can look through the evidence. Then his office. He's one of our top detectives. He gets his own office, so it's locked right now. But you can go down to the morgue. Obviously, the coroner's probably working on the victim right now. So Philip, you can go ahead and give me another forensics check as you look at the victim.
57 out of 60.
Very good. So you look at the victim, and victim is must have been pretty bloody, especially from the cut nose and everything. And you notice there's some blood smears on his face, or on his head, which at first you think maybe the guy was holding his nose and then just clenched his head, trying to guard his head from defensive, so that's why there's blood on there. But you actually notice a wound, some cuts on his head that the coroner missed, and they're actually on the top of the head, and you think they have surgical precision. They actually look like, this is getting a little fucked up. They actually look like the beginning incisions to a trepanation. Like somebody, like the killer was going to perform brain surgery on the victim. Like these are the kind of very shallow cuts, but very precise and at the right place that you would, want to open up somebody's head in. So, yeah, that's disconcerting, but not sand check worthy. But it's you found out something new, and it does specifically remind you of the trepanation, which is obviously not a legal surgery that anyone could do. Certainly not. Yeah. So, meanwhile, Allison, if you want to get into Detective Peter's office, you can either wait for him, you could call him up and try and have someone open it up for you. You could pick the lock, or fast talk somebody, or you could do a spot hidden to look around, see if you find out anything else of importance.
Is he keeping the evidence in his office?
Yes, he stepped out to go to the victim's house. So you actually see the laptop. It is bagged and tagged on his desk. He is processing it now. He was processing it when he decided to go to the victim's house.
I'll do a spot hidden check first.
Okay.
That's 42 under 75.
Okay, you actually see that there is a row of monitors in the back, and you can see a cop looking through them. And since you're from Pullman, you recognize it. Traffic cams have been set up near the university. And you, I also say, Philip, you also figure out the victim's time of death. The victim was killed around 3:30 in the morning. So you have a timeline now. If the victim was killed at 3:30, wasn't found until 5:30. So the killer left sometime, between 3:30 and 5.
When did he enter the building again?
Between 9 and 11 p.m.
Okay.
So this took place over hours. He was there for a while, but you're guessing the killer didn't hang around long after the victim was dead. So you're reasonably confident the killer left the building around 3:30. And Allison, with that timeline in mind, you realize, hey, maybe you could find there's not many cars traveling at 3 to 5 in the morning. And you know that he's a skinny white dude in a hoodie So maybe you could find something. So you could sit down and look at the traffic cam footage, or you could, yeah. So that's something you could do if you wanted to.
Yeah, I'll take a look at the traffic cam footage while I wait for
Okay.
Peterson to come back.
Okay, so give me, when I get back to you, you can make a spot hidden check to see if you find it. Meanwhile, Tim, have you figured out what your plan of action is?
Well, first things first. Spot hidden. 45 out of 50.
Okay.
See if I can see
Uh,
something.
You see a letter that has been opened, and you skim it. It looks like it's from his ex-wife, Janice. Looks like they divorced a while ago, and she's saying, why you don't need the full house anymore. Please sell it. I need the money. You owe me. Looks like they were divorced. So you're with your head. You're like, oh, what about the ex-wife? She could have killed
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, motive.
So why shouldn't you go up to the find more of these letters? There's a whole stack of them. You should focus on this. So
Yeah,
is that
I bring it up. It's like, detective,
okay?
look at this.
Huh.
I'll
Well,
let the letter do the talking instead of me.
okay. So give me another spot hidden check.
Okay. Uh, 2 out of 50.
You actually see a huge pile of them. Looks like they've been corresponding for some while. Looks like his wife is very old-fashioned and sends letters. And you realize you pull the big stack of letters and shove them to the cops, and they start pouring through them, giving you time to look around. So you can easily pull the hard drives out from the computer while the cops are reading the letters. They sent to each other, both their letters when they're recording and divorce and all this other stuff.
Tragic.
Yes. So, well, that's the thing. Do you want to just you just want to disconnect the drives and take them with you, or do you want to turn the computer on and look at it first? With a computer use check, I will give you more information.
Okay, yeah, but then they might get information. Is there a convenient bag nearby?
Yeah,
I don't think I brought one.
No, just give me a computer use check right now.
Okay. Come on, +1. 31 out of 61.
All right, you realize, given the level of sophistication he had with his work computer, he might have some sort of, his computer might be rigged to protect, like if it doesn't detect a certain motherboard, it might be like, oh, this is not the right computer, delete everything now. Just, yeah, in case of theft. He did encrypt a lot of sophisticated stuff. You got lucky with the Post-it note. So you could either turn it on now or take the whole computer, or you could just risk it. Or you could just either just take the hard drives and hand it over to Delta Green. Delta Green would certainly know how to deal with even sophisticated traps like that. You're just not going to get the information much later.
Time is of the essence. Do it now.
You're turning the computer on now?
Yep.
All right, you boot it up. It slowly grinds to life. He doesn't use an SSD. Ugh, it's so slow.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So it's whining to life. You also notice in the closet of his office, there is actually a respirator, a gas mask, like coveralls, boots, thick rubber gloves, caked in dirt and dust, and a pickaxe. It looks like the edge has been pitted with some kind of acid. Give me a chemistry or geology check.
26 on geology, or 26 out of 81 on geology.
All right. This makes no goddamn sense because it looks like a few bits of acid did melt into it, but the pick itself still seems to be structurally intact. Like what kind of acid would dissipate this fast, but being this strong? It's just an anomalous kind of melt. It's not like either the acid would be too weak to do this, or it would have caused enough damage to cause the pickaxe to. It was very strong, but evaporated very quickly.
Do I have evidence bags on me or anything like that?
Yes.
I'm going to take some of the dirt that's still caked onto his equipment.
Okay, very good.
I'm probably going to end up taking the pickaxe too, but I'm still waiting for the computer to grind to life.
The computer grinds to life. It turns on. You enter in the password. You can hear the the what you call it? Detectives and police officer are clearly going to be finished with the letters pretty soon. So you have time to look up one thing, or you can try and disable a thing. With a computer use check, you could disable the trap, or you could try and look up a thing. What you make a query of the archives.
Question before I make the roll, or as I make the roll. Can I text my two partners and have them call the detective and ask him some question about the laptop?
Okay, sure. All right, both of you get the text. Philip, you're finishing up the autopsy. You could try to call the detective if you wanted to. Allison, you get the same thing. You're looking through security footage, traffic cam footage. Which of you wants to do that? And then the other one will get to do an investigative check of some sort. So.
I'll give a call since I probably know the guy.
Okay. So Philip, you can you finish with the autopsy. You at least unless you have some specific questions.
Do we get a timeline of wounds? Because we have like a 4-hour window, so the earliest wounds would already start scabbing.
Yes. Yes. It looks like the killer. You actually do spend some time to like figure that out. So you figure out the timeline of the wounds. It looks like the killer started small and started working his way up. You can give me another forensics check or psychology, or yeah, either one would work.
I'm better at forensics, so I'll try that. Not this time. 78 out of 60.
Well, you get the timeline of the wounds. He started small and got bigger as time went on, until the fatal wound and several other stab wounds, all in the same area, slid between the ribs, while his hand was covering Dr. Curtis's mouth. This was an up-close murder. All the fatal wounds were delivered within seconds. All the other wounds were painful but non-fatal, and they were progressing in intensity. So that's what you figure out, but by failing the check, you don't, your interpretation is your own.
Speaking of hands, I would have another question. Are there any like hematoma or something that would give signs of if he was held down by another person, or if it just was the one guy? Because there might be another guy.
He was not bound in any way, but it looks like he was not restrained. It only looks, you don't see any indication there was more than one attacker.
Okay.
You can't rule it out entirely. It could just be a coincidence, but there's nothing that proves there were two of them. So you only see, it looks, which is kind of remarkable, the fact that the guy wasn't restrained at all. It does look like he was grabbed and like held in place. Whoever was attacking him was very strong. You also, maybe the guy was just really fucking scary. Like, if you scream or squirm, I'll kill you. How
fresh is the trepanation thing?
Trepanation Fesh was relatively late.
Okay.
It may be an hour and a half before his death. 2 a.m. So, meanwhile, Allison, you call up Detective Peterson and say, hey, Allison, what's going on? We're looking, we'll have to look up where the ex-wife is.
Oh, that's interesting. I was just calling because I just had those questions about the laptop you found.
Mm-hmm. Are you at the station now?
Yeah, I'm just looking through some traffic cam footage. See if I can
good call.
Get some decent burp.
Good call. You guys are on the ball. I haven't turned it on or anything. The text tried to get in, but they couldn't. We didn't have the password. So I'm just going to bag and tag it. I guess when I'm done processing it, you can have it. I'll be by the end of business today, end of the day. So he'll give it to you for free. You don't have to make any rolls for him to give it to you at 5. You can make a fast talk or persuade check to get no, I need it now. If you crit fail, he'll throw a hissy fit.
I'll try persuade, because I've got, use the angle that I've got the FBI guy here with me.
Sure.
And he's gonna have a crack at it, and I just need to get into the office.
Sure.
26 under 55. I made it.
All right. I'll call the desk sergeant. He'll let you in, and you can just take it. I know you, so I can sign out for you. So you can just if you think the kill, if you know where the ex-wife is or whatever, if you can take it now. The tech guy had said it was all encrypted. You wouldn't be able to get in anyway. So good luck. So yeah, all right. So you can get it now. And try and mess around with
Excellent.
it. Tim. So you hear Detective Peterson walking. Well, he's distracted a little longer because he's talking that. So you can. What do you want to? What's your play?
All right, I'm gonna try to pull some information out, and then once they get close, I'm gonna see if I can get it back to. Oh, I can't get in. It's password protected.
Yeah, you can log out essentially.
Yeah.
So all right, how much information you get depends on your computer use check.
5 out of 61.
Oh, that's a very good check.
I believe it's impale.
It is an impale. You get a lot of information. It's mostly text files and computer databases, essentially. The guy, you realize this has been stretching back until 1997. This guy's had this for, over a decade, almost 2 decades. He's had it for a while, and he has just been grinding away at it. That's all. Well, I mean, you can reanalyze it more when you on your own computer.
Dump it onto a Dropbox or a jump drive, whatever I can.
No, you have a USB stick,
Okay.
a little thumb drive, so you just copy it off, and then you log out, and it was like, oh god, well,
I don't know,
passwords.
Man. Yeah, this guy was paranoid.
I guess. Well, he had reason to be paranoid.
You think the wife did it?
Well, husbands always hide ex-husbands, always hide shit from their ex-wives. So always hiding finances. I wouldn't be surprised.
Well, guess we should tag these up and take it for the nerds to work on.
Yeah. All right. So you walk out, drive away. Allison, go ahead and give me that spot hidden check.
Yep. 32 under 75.
All right. You get a white sedan. It looks new. You can see a little tag on it that indicates it's a rental car. You get a partial plate. So you can run that partial plate, and eventually you'll get your car. So that's good. That will only take days or hours. But it looks skinny white guy in a hoodie driving away at about 4:45. So looks like he left. He was gone. Looks like he was heading towards the highway, to the west towards Seattle. And a lot. I mean, Pullman is on the eastern side of the state. So he was heading west, towards the mountains, the Cascade Mountains. At this point, all of you get a call from George. So the symbol in your found in the paper has been identified. A white sedan. Yeah. Oh yeah, you okay. Sorry. It is a symbol of a terrorist group that has been active in the UK since the 1990s, on and off, called the Army of the Third Eye. They are apparently neo-Luddites, with they have targeted British defense industries and aerospace companies and the defense ministry, and they we have run a number of names through this, and someone was flagged a number of years ago. Someone a person of interest connected to the Army of the Third Eye has immigrated to the United States. A person named Gavin Clifton. His photo will be sent to you shortly, but he immigrated to the United States and has gone off the grid since then. He was we were have the request from the UK to capture him whenever possible. However, we've never located him, and
pictures of Biff with
I do have one, because this intersects with the United Kingdom. I want to bring up a warning that the British have a counterpart to our group that is codenamed Pisces. Pisces is not to be trusted. If anyone approaches you during the course of this investigation claiming to be a member of any British law enforcement or intelligence agency, you are to avoid contact and report to the group immediately. You are not to believe them. You are not to cooperate with them in any fashion. We have security concerns regarding them, and that is all I'm authorized to say. So metagame out of character, yes, of course, that's part of Countdown. Like there's a whole write-up, like people got shot, Delta Green agents were shot in the United Kingdom, so they're like, maybe we should stay the fuck away. And certainly this is the here and now, so I'm going to say they know, but that's all your characters, all they know is like, okay, that's weird. Well, it's been a while since I've read Countdown, but I'm saying Delta Green is wary of Pisces. So those of you who are veterans, but anyways, also to the point, I have located the location of the case files relating to Dr. Curtis. In fact, Dr. Curtis was the one keeping them. We have a storage facility. This is we call these green boxes. They are storage facilities rented out by front companies and anonymous organizations, and we use them to store evidence from our cases and other items that can be deniable. There is one at the USORT facility in Seattle, Washington. You will have a key. There's a key at a dead drop. You will go there, take that key, and find them the case files. If you have access to his computer files, you should find code names or something that corresponds to that. Go there, find out what the case is about. These are not digitized files. We do not know what Dr. Curtis was analyzing or what he was up to exactly, what case he was involved in. Yeah, that is all I have for you right now. I assume your characters give him all the information.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. So, yeah, what do you guys think? Do you guys have any theories about what's going on, or?
Not enough information to make a scientific guess right now.
Okay.
In regards to what he's doing.
All right.
So that may change if I look at his stuff from his main computer.
All right. Fair enough. Fair enough. So if you pool your cars, one of you can drive while the other one looks at this on their laptop. So the three of you, or you can just take two cars. You can drive west. It's about a 6-hour drive, so it's about 3 in the afternoon, so you'll get there at 9 at night. Washington is a long state. It is fairly large.
Oh, God. Yeah, it is.
So, do you want to do anything else in Pullman before you leave?
Do we want to tell the police?
Oh, wait, Tim, actually give me a final spot hidden check as you are leaving the house.
Gotcha. Just a moment. One. Nope. 67 out of 50.
All right. Anyways, so go on.
Do we want to tell
I'll
the
grab
police
Rep.
about the guy so they can search for him, or do we keep it under wraps?
I think we should keep it under wraps for now.
Okay.
You mean Gavin Clifton's?
Yes.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
his description and his car and all that.
Gavin Clifton is technically could be he when it came to the United States on a tourist visa and just stayed. So he is, you could report him to immigration officials. He could be deported. He has been here for at least 10 years. Looks like he came here around 2005. You don't know where he is or anything like that. But yeah, you do get a photo of him, and he is a tall, skinny white dude, so he could be the killer. You don't have a good enough of a video image to conclude it's him, but he certainly fits the build.
Mhm.
So
All right.
do you all head on?
I was gonna gather up the any other evidence that we need to put into storage. And,
Yeah, you can do that. You can take the hard drives and the other stuff. You could leave that at the storage facility, and other Delta Green agents can eventually retrieve it for analysis.
What about this pickaxe thing?
Yeah, that.
You could take.
Well, we could go back to his house.
Um,
No, police are gone.
yeah, the police are gone. Let's see. You can take the pickaxe with you. They don't really give a shit about that. It was just a hard drive. They don't. It's a pickaxe. They're not gonna like.
Okay.
So, let's see here. All right. So you head on. So, Tim, you can
Yes,
give
sir.
me a geology check
All right.
to analyze the files.
70 out of 81.
All right. Give me a sand check.
Oh, no. That's not where I'm a Viking. 94 out of 48.
Is that a success or a failure?
That's a fail.
You only lose 2 because you're just reading files, but they're just like this guy spent 15 years on and off. Looks like analyzing these fragments. That's codenamed Project Opera. Looks like this is the only mission he was ever involved with the Delta Green. At the end of it, he had these samples that he retrieved from a. You look at the coordinates mentioned. It's a and you can cross-reference them thanks to that. It's a closed mine in Montana, and he's been trying to figure out what the fuck it is ever since. And all you can tell is that this object is harder than diamond. It cannot be melted. It cannot be burned. It defies the laws of physics. It is just a substance that is stronger than anything else that man has ever encountered. And has from spectral analysis, everything else, it just defies analysis. And this guy has been just slamming his head into a wall for over a decade, trying to figure out what the fuck it is.
Okay.
Yes. This probably caused his divorce. As he
I was thinking that, yeah.
Yeah. And lately, you do find some disjointed note files that sort of personal notes, asides, like had the Cascadia dream again. What does it mean? Sleepwalking? Question mark. Grass on feet. Am I going crazy? Called Andrea again. Andrea is in all caps. They don't want me to. They tell me to keep going. I don't want to keep going, but I have to. I can't let that thing out again. So you get that.
Mhm.
So, anyways, 6 hours later, do you guys talk about anything on the way over? On the drive over?
I'll check the laptop.
Well, no. Tim is the one looking at the laptop. Oh, well,
Oh,
you
okay,
can.
okay.
Yeah. Well,
Oh,
no,
I
he's
thought it was
using his
looking at
own
other
laptop.
stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll definitely share this load.
Allison, you open it up. You can see it is actually loaded up with normal stuff. This is his work laptop, and he does not. There is some mirrored information. Looks like from the other files. But give me a computer use check.
Oh joy.
I'll help you out if you need it.
No.
Well, no, Tim,
No.
you're working on the.
Oh yeah. Okay.
There's over 15 years worth of research material to look at.
Yep.
It's got stuff on it.
All right, it's got stuff on
Calculator
it.
app.
Right. Yep, it's got stuff on it. So I guess Philip, you're driving.
I guess I am.
Yeah, you could talk to the guys. Talk to the other two as they're hunched over their laptops in the car.
Yeah. I guess we can pool our information, and I would ask them if the Trinitite is coming up somewhere in his notes.
I don't know.
Trinitite actually comes up very recently, Tim. Within the last year, it actually sort of corresponds with getting the Cascadia dreams. Looks like Dr. Curtis picked up Trinitite because of there's actually a note. Will this help the dreams? Question mark. Radiation. Does it affect it? Looks like one of the few things he hasn't really done a lot of experiments with is radiation. Immersing it in the samples in radioactive, radiation and stuff like that. Because he's a geologist, he doesn't. It's harder for him to get a hold of it than say, a physicist, and it's hard to go to the Atomic Energy Agency like, hey, all your uranium and nuclear reactors, let me use them. I want to put this thing in it and see what happens. Yeah, there's. You actually, though, Allison, you do get some notice from his correspondence, his work email. It looks like he was getting progressively alienated from the academic community because he stopped publishing. He stopped publishing a couple years ago. He was publishing for a while, but he stopped publishing. His publication schedule was getting more and more erratic and more slowed down. He was delaying people. He was just giving up on everything. And his colleagues were getting pissed at him. And even there's like, you're hiding something from us. What the fuck is it? But So basically, a person who threw his life away for the benefit of the group, and only to get stabbed to death by someone in his lab while he was working for the benefit of the group. So that's something to think about. Your career choices. You head to Seattle. You get in around 9:30. You pick up the key from the dead drop and head to the storage facility. There's a guy, Steve, who's working it. When you have the key, you tell him that anyone can go in if they have the right key. So you do. So you walk into the storage facility. You open it up. It's a storage lock. Well, it's not a locker. It's a storage space. There's a wooden crate on one side, like a foot locker sized. There's stacks of cardboard boxes in the back. There's something covered up by cloth. Looks kind of tall, like So of course, I'm assuming you guys are just going straight there. Is that your game plan? Or do you want to have a more practical sense? I don't want to railroad you guys.
Do we want to bring the local PD in on this? Like, do that hotel thing in regards to his car?
Yeah, I mean, it'd be a good way to actually look for Gavin.
Yeah.
Certainly quicker than we could by ourselves.
Okay. Very good. That's your choice as agents. So you're doing it for Gavin Clifton?
Yes. We got the
well,
white sedan, partial plate.
Yeah. Okay.
Maybe we should be a bit more vague, like a person of interest.
Okay.
We don't want to. We don't want
Okay.
them to. We don't want like Detective Sparky to all of a sudden draw a whole bunch of lines to what we
Yeah.
don't want.
Okay. So you can call that in on the way in to Seattle.
Yeah.
So that doesn't slow you down. Is there anything
Can
you
I?
want to?
Oh, I'm sorry. Can I requisition a Geiger counter or a dosimeter or any sort of radiation detection equipment?
Give me a luck check.
Okay. I am not lucky, but let us see. 19 out of 50.
With a 19 out of 50, the local you're supposed to go to. You have office space available to you at the local FBI office, and they actually have dosimeters there.
Nice.
Apparently, they are doing some sort of like, hey, make sure people aren't smuggling in radioactive shit through our ports, because Seattle's a port city. So they have that kind of stuff there. So good job. And that will be made available to you if you want to head to the office anytime you want to head to the office. So is that what you want to do first, or do you just want to head straight to the green box?
I say green box first, or do you need the counter for the green box?
No, I wouldn't think so.
Okay.
Green box first, sounds good.
All right. So you
Yeah,
head straight to the green box. You tell them. The PD, they will start running his name through the system and see what pops up. Woo, the Panopticon is working for your benefit. Woo!
Yay!
So you have that. You get to it. As I said, you open it up. There's a bunch of cardboard boxes in the back. There's something covered under a white cloth. It's about as tall as you are, about 5-6 feet tall. There's a wooden footlocker on the side. There is looks like a rack of tools on the wall, on the left wall. You can actually see, it's very obvious, there is a bloody tomahawk with a little string and a little cardboard tag on it. Like bloody as in it is literally has dried blood on it. So...
Do not touch anything if you
Yeah.
want to live.
Yeah.
Let's not be curious with these things.
So you could you need to look around. You need to poke around. It is kind of dark in there. Now you're indoor. You're in a small building that it's climate controlled storage facility. Basically, you're in the middle of a hallway. And there's a door off to the corner to the left, and another one on the right. So it's just a long, and there's just storage spaces on either side of the hallway. So are all three of you just going to start digging in, looking for it?
Yeah.
Is there lighting?
Yes, there is lighting in the hallway.
Okay, it's good to know.
There's none in the storage space, so you can use your cell phones to provide a little light.
Could I have gotten a flashlight?
That would be a luck check.
I'm very lucky. So, yes, 20 out under 85.
Always be prepared. Yes, you have a flashlight, a nice mag light. You all have cell phones. They all have their own little, flashlight app.
Yeah.
Something a bit more powerful.
Yeah, no, a mag light is that, and you could hurt a person with it. You could totes hit a person with it.
Excellent.
So are you going to search, Matthew?
I will put the stuff in the right place and not touch anything else.
You have to move, but there's a lot of boxes in the back corner. You have to move. You have to get in there and push things around.
Move each one delicately as if it contained a live bomb.
So you're searching very slowly, is what you're saying.
Yes.
Okay. What about you, Philip?
We're looking for files, so I'm looking for something that's.
Well, there's a
looks like-
lot of cardboard boxes, so it looks like there's a lot of paperwork and stuff in them. So you're probably going to have to dig through those.
Yeah, is there some kind of system to it?
No. No,
Okay.
there isn't. So it looks like this stuff was piled up by different groups over a period of years.
Oh boy.
People would just dump in stuff. So are you going to search, or are you going to do something else?
I'm searching.
Searching? All right. So Tim, are you searching as well?
I'm gonna stand out in the doorway, make sure nobody walks in behind us.
Oh, okay. All right. So the two of you who are searching, both of you give me spot hidden checks, and both of you give me a luck check.
Which one first?
28 on the spot hidden,
Yes, first. Okay.
and 52 on the luck. Both
Okay.
successes.
All right, Philip.
52 spot hidden. That should be a miss if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it's a miss.
Okay.
And luck is 44 out of 65.
Okay. So Matthew, you find a box labeled opera on the side, and you look in it, and you skim it. You see VHS tapes, and then you see a schematic of a mine that is labeled in Colorado. I mean, not Colorado, Montana. Sorry. So you think this is one box worth of evidence. Philip, you don't see anything, but you know there are a lot of boxes that are sort of you can't get to right now because there's that thing covered under the white cloth. So you're gonna have to move all the boxes out of the way, or move the white whatever's underneath the white thing out of the way. Or you could try and drag that footlocker into the middle of the hallway, and then maybe try and build out some space there. So, what do you want to do? Or do you just want to like let Allison do all the work? Matthew's going to do all the work. And you'd be like, I'm trying to do things, but I don't want to touch anything. Or do something else. I don't know. But those are some immediate options. So, do you know what you want to do, Phil?
Is there space behind the thing under the white clothes so that I just need to move over it and can work from there, or do I have to move it anyway?
No, that's the problem. There are boxes you can't look at because the thing is in your way. Because to your left, there's more boxes, all the ones you have looked at and have eliminated from the search, at least. And to your right is the big footlocker, which you could. Well, you could. I guess you could climb on top of the footlocker, but then the white object is in the way too. So you'd have to sort of edge by that to get to the back corner. So we're talking about the boxes that are in the very back right of the storage space.
Yeah, if there is some space I can stand on in the back space, I would try to, edge along the white thing and.
Okay. All right. So you're climbing up on the footlocker to get to the boxes. All right.
Yeah.
Give me a. Let me look at your character. What would be more fun? Give me a luck check.
33 out of 65.
All right, you step on the wooden footlocker, and it is rotten wood. It like you crunch through it, your foot gets stuck, and it hits something metal, ding, and sort of cylindrical. So your foot's stuck. And at this time, Tim, give me a spot hidden and a listen check.
Woo! All right. All right. 35 out of 50 for listen, and 5 out of 50 for spot hidden.
Wow, you are fucking on point when it comes to being the lookout, which is good because, as I said, you're in the middle of a hallway, and basically the hallway goes down a long way, but at regular intervals there's a little side hallway that leads to the door to the outside. It's just a regular, space out. And so there's a corner to your left and to your right that will lead to a door, and both of those doors open pretty much simultaneously, and you can hear two footsteps coming from both doors. Very not running or anything like that, just kind of just regular walking, but they're very much seemingly in sync with each other. So you hear that first. If you stay, you can get the benefit of your spot hidden check, or you could immediately act as soon as you hear that. But you heard that even though Philip's character just stepped on a wooden, footlocker or something, got his foot stuck because it fell through. And Allison is holding one box with the opera, one relevant box worth of evidence. So,
could I close our door?
it would be you could step in and do that. They're probably going to see that though. Like it's not much of a space. You'd have to make a dex time. Well, yeah, dex times 2. I would allow you to do that, and then they wouldn't know exactly where it is.
Okay.
Actually, give me an idea check.
Idea. All right.
Yeah.
I'm pretty good at that. 11 out of 85.
It wouldn't work because you lock these from the outside, and they're going to notice that the one that's not locked from the outside is, one of these is not like the others.
If
So
they
you could-
tried every door.
Well, no, I mean they're all locked. Like there's sliding doors, and there's a lock on the side of each one
Oh, okay.
with a big padlock or something. So it's the one with the padlock, the one that's not padlocked. They'd just be able to open it up, and plus you'd be trapping yourself in a dark space. So you could do it, but you're not going to be. They're going to know it's one. You're not going to be able to hide very well.
Okay. Company. I'm going to close the door.
Okay, so you step in and do that anyway.
No. I'll be outside, locking the door.
Okay. All right. So you do that to lock them. Okay. Very interesting. Interesting play.
I will get my gun ready.
Okay. So you lose the benefit of your spot hidden check because you actually aren't looking because you're slamming the door shut and locking them in there. So both of you are in there. You can have
At least a flashlight.
All right. So Philip, your foot. You can't move if it would be very difficult to move your foot out without making any noise. In fact, give me a Dex times 5 check to not fall over even further because it's very awkward, and you can make noise regardless.
Yeah, I have a dex of 18, so that should go.
Yeah,
for
no, 90% chance of success, 10% chance of horrible failure.
84, so
Very closely, like, you're standing on something round, like a metal tube or something like that. It seems like, or two metal tubes that are right next to each other, like tanks of some kind. You can't tell. So that's weird. All right, so Tim, you're out there by yourself. You close the door and lock it. Just in time to look around. You see 3 people. One on the right side, 2 on the left. The 2 on the left are wearing cheap suits. You can give me a psychology check real quick for them.
Oh, not a Viking. Let's try it though. All right.
Your psychology is 5%, so yeah, you're not. Gonna do it.
Yeah.
You can always shoot them with your gun.
I don't necessarily know that I need to shoot them yet.
They're both.
I do have my hand on my gun now.
Okay. Well, you don't notice anything unusual about the 2. The one on the right, though, is approaching you. He is walking rather calmly.
FBI, back off.
Oh, hello. My name. Let's see. What is his character's name? Sorry, I forgot what this NPC was called. This is not the character saying it.
Do I detect a bit of a British accent in that?
You do. Actually, the 2 of you will have to make listen checks to hear any of this because you're, inside a storage space, and so.
I will do that. I'm very good at listening.
I
get it. 68 under 75.
Edgar Huntington. Yes, I'm with the London Met Pol, the Metropolitan Police. We have been told that a person of interest, Mr. Gavin Clifton, is under investigation, and that you are the people to talk to. Your local FBI agency directed us here. We are very eager to apprehend him. He is actually a wanted terrorist. We've come reason to believe that he is associated with a terrorist group. I'm very eager to help out, so I'm here to help liaison with you.
Okay. Well, first thing you could do for me is go to the office. Well, yeah.
He's walking towards you. He's just continuing walking towards you.
Could you stop with the walking?
Please? What? I just want to shake hands. We're here. We're all on the same team.
I have a thing about personal contacts.
Do you have fast talk?
No.
Okay, you can still try and make a check.
Yeah, I know. What's the base?
Well, looks on your sheet for Bill House, looks like it's 10%. Looks like you put a whopping 5% into it.
I rolled a 9.
Oh!
Whoa!
You actually see, he's like, he doesn't seem suspicious. Oh, yes, you Yanks are very odd about your personal space. At least you're not Italian. And
Yes, yes, yes.
uh, he says, "Well, we could wait for you. We could give you a ride. Are you here by yourself? Did you find anything of interest? We could help you carry it out."
No, I'm just doing a survey.
A survey at this time of night?
Uh,
Is this the culprits? Not enough people here for a warrant search, I guess.
no, this is my own personal equipment, and I'd rather.
Oh, your own equipment. Very interesting. Did you get everything you needed? Doesn't look like you have anything on you.
I have enough, but like I said, I would prefer to discuss this not in this corridor, but out in the office.
Oh no. I suppose we could go to your office if you're inviting us. I mean, we have a lot of information on Mr. Clifton and his activities, and we would be happy to share it with you if we could have a chance to interrogate him. You can keep him after we get our information. He might know the whereabouts of other terrorists that are currently plotting against the kingdom. It's a very matter of national security to us. So if you want to lead the way, we'd be happy to follow.
I still have a couple of things I need. I just don't like being.
Then why did you close the door?
Well, I don't know who you are until you introduced yourself. So.
Oh well, now you know. You can just open it up. We'll wait. We could.
And you could
wait out.
You could be outside while I look through my personal things.
Oh yes, of course. You're intimates and whatnot. Yes, I'm sorry. I'm very. We'll wait out right outside.
That's all I ask. Thank you.
Of course. So they step out, and close the door. So what?
I will lower my gun,
Okay.
but keep it ready.
I was going to recite the Charge of the Light Brigade if they got within melee.
Okay. Well, you made that fast start check. You open it up again. Philip, you can remove your foot from it. You actually shine your light into it, and it is 2 tanks. They look kind of like scuba tanks, but give me a spot hidden check as you look through the hole in the footlocker.
I do not make it.
Okay, that's all you can tell unless you open it up more.
I'm not all that interested.
All right, fair enough. Give me another luck check to get to the boxes.
Yeah. 17.
Okay.
That makes
You
it.
squeeze by the outer world, desperately afraid to touch the thing under the white cloth, whatever it is. For some weird reason, it's just probably, something totally mundane. And you find 3 other boxes labeled opera. There are 4 boxes altogether. And you've looked through every single cardboard box, and so you found all the evidence related to this case. That you have access to. So at this point, your phone's. Let's see. Allison, go ahead and give me a luck check.
Okay. Yep, 21 under 85.
All right. You make it, and you see that you get a message from the police. They got a lead. Looks like a Mr. Clifton rented something from Airbnb near the beach, and they will. So this just came in. So
Probably let them know. Probably let the police know. Don't share information with the creepy Brits.
Yeah.
Well, all of you can give me idea checks.
Yep.
Yep.
Yes.
You didn't fucking tell the FBI where you were going. Only Delta Green, only your handler knew where you were going. How the fuck did those guys know where you were?
We should call our handler anyway. Tell them the place is compromised.
Burn the
Okay.
house down.
All right. So who's calling him? Actually, all three of you give me listen checks.
Yep, I'm listen. 24 under 75.
42 out of 50.
I do not make it.
Okay, both of you, those who make it, you can hear just very all the way at the end of the hallway. You hear pretty far down the hallway.
Like, say, someone listening at a door just open?
Possibly. It does sound like a door opening and then closing.
I lip like mouth only talk. Call the police. Say there's suspicious people at this facility. We have FBI credentials. We'll get out.
Call the police. You are the police.
Call for more police.
You give me an idea check.
I actually failed.
Okay. Yeah, no, that's a perfectly good idea.
All right.
That's deep.
Yeah.
All right. So what are each of you gonna do? Allison, what are you gonna do? Matthew.
Oh dear. So, be letting people know about him. Just him. So I think it would be best to keep it that way. So what direction was the
All the way at the left end.
Squishy
You're at
left?
the right end of the hallway. Basically,
Right.
there's only one door to your right, and then there's like 5 doors to your left at regular intervals down the hallway. So it sounds like it came from, and only part of the hallway is lit up. There's basically lights on timers. You twist the timer to have light in your little section of the storage space. So basically, only your section is actually lit up. The rest of the hallway is dark. Because it's people come and go, so they just twist the timer on, and then it clicks off again. It saves them electricity. It sounds like it's just around the corner at the very end of the hallway, at the left side. So you're at the very right edge of the hallway. Does that make sense? Does everybody have a spatial sort of understanding? Okay. Okay, so that's what you figure. So Matt, what are you actually doing?
I'm gonna go investigate that noise.
Are you going to just sneak down the hallway then?
Yes.
Okay, give me a sneak
With
check.
my gun.
Well, I kind of figured. I'm not gonna be that much of a dick. You didn't say you had your gun out. So.
No. 98 on the sneak check.
Okay. There's actually a wooden splinter left over from when Philip, there's some debris from the green box that you didn't clean up. So you trip and fall. Your gun just slides down the hallway. And let's see here. The door, you hear a door up ahead slam open. When you hear that, let's see here. So Philip, during the same instant as Allison is going forward, what were you doing?
I was about to text message our handler about this whole situation.
Okay, so that's what you do. In one sentence, what is your message to your handler?
Yeah, green box compromised. Brits are here.
Police are coming.
Okay, so that's what you say.
Yeah, I'll ask if I should burn it down.
Do you ask him to burn down?
If I should do it, yeah.
No, you are asking, should I burn the storage facility down?
Yes.
Okay. You get an immediate reply, no. N-O. So, Tim, what are you doing while Allison was sneaking forward?
Oh, it's in the pot. I try to grab as many boxes as I can reasonably run with.
Okay, that's 2 boxes.
Sneaking.
Your car is off to the right side of the corridor. on the right, nearest to the right edge exit. So you can head down the right side of the hallway. The door's
Nope,
closed.
that's where
there.
they'd be waiting.
Well, logically, yes. So, which there are 6 doors total. You're at the just 1 through 6. 6 is where you heard the noise of someone trying to sneak in. The door slamming happens at door 3. So you're at the right side door is door 1. So, which door is it that you want to run to?
So
Your car is parked by 1. The trunk is by 1. So if you, as far as you know, there's just open. It's just an open gravel little driveway. All of them, yeah. So.
I'm gonna run to the one opposite our car.
No, actually, each door does have security glass on it, so you could make a spot hidden check to look to see if anyone's.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so you could run 2 boxes there, put them by the door, and then look out the window.
Okay, that would be.
Okay, so give me a spot hidden check. Sorry, I should have mentioned security glass.
All right, 46 out of 50.
Okay. This. All right, you see the silhouette of somebody trying to be sneaky. Actually, someone just on the left-hand side of the door, but you see their shadow on the ground in front of you. So there's someone right by the door, but they're obviously watching door 1. So if you went to door 2, you could sneak up behind them, assuming no one's at. And then you hear Allison slide over. The door 3 slam open, and then sounds coming from all the way at the end of the hallway near door 6. So we'll just it would probably be best if we go into combat at this point.
Yeah.
So Matthew, give me a spot hidden check.
Yes.
Okay. You look and you see someone come up from the corner from around where door 6 is and just start rushing towards you. They have something in their hand. You can't see what it is. It doesn't. It's a one-handed object. It's not like a shotgun or anything. That's all you can tell. You also hear something from about door 3. You're right across from door 2. But your gun slid in between past door 2, but in front of door 3. So in the middle of the next little section of hallway. So, what do you want to do? You could take cover right by door. The what?
Door 3 opened.
Door 3 open. The door just ahead of you.
Okay. I'm gonna dive for my gun and take shots at the guy running at me.
Okay. Give me a Dex times 5 check to see if you can just lunge forward, grab the gun, and make the shot. If you fail the check, you don't. You just grab the gun.
Just under 51 under 55.
All right. So you grab it. I'll let you make normally with a handgun with a semi-auto pistol. Let's say you guys are using Glocks. You get 2 or 3 shots per round. I think
3 shots.
3 shots. I say the moving costs 2 actions, so you can get 1 shot this round. Are you shooting the guy who's running all the way from 6?
Yes.
All right, give me an attack roll. Standard difficulty because it's dark. He's running at you.
Yes, 31 under 60.
Ooh, you do damage. So go ahead and roll damage.
That's a D10.
Yes.
And 4.
4. You wing him. He flinches from it, and spins around, but keeps charging you, which is unusual. So, Philip, what are you going to do?
I guess I'll draw my gun and approach the door.
Okay. Let's see here. Which door are you heading to? You're between 1 and 2 right now. You're right at the storage. Your green box. You could. The door that you heard open was at 3, and you see someone charging down the hallway that Allison just shot. So, What are you going to... Yeah, so which door are you heading to? 1 is behind you, 2 is right across from you, 3 is ahead of you, or 2 is ahead of you as well. You're between 1 and 2. Anyways, yeah, sorry. Which
And
door do
the
you want to head to?
attacker is coming from...
The one that you see came all the way from 6, so he's just charging down the hallway. He's covering some ground. He got shot in the arm, but he has kept going.
I guess I will go towards 1, but move backwards so I keep him in my vision.
Okay, so you're just moving back, or are you going to shoot him as well?
I have my gun pointed at him, but I'm not shooting yet.
Okay, so you have him in your sights, which is very good, because the guy from doorway 3 pops out, and he's charging towards Allison, and he's carrying something in his hand as well. You can give me a spot hidden to identify what it is, or you can just shoot him, Phil.
I try to identify it. No. Something.
So you don't... Yeah, it's something. So do you want to shoot him or not?
Yeah, I shoot him.
All right, go ahead and make a roll.
No.
All right, it misses. And he... Allison, you can give me a dodge check.
All right. 99.
Oh,
Okay,
Jesus.
you drop your gun again. As you try and roll and you bang it, it's a narrow hallway. You don't have much room to space. So you get tased.
Shit.
So let's see here. What dude? I should have looked this up earlier.
If it's like a clip's phase shock, then I'm basically screwed.
No, they actually have rules for tasers. So, here it is, taser conduct. You are stunned. So let's see here. What does stun do? You may not parry. Let's see. You may not act for. I'll say 1 round. Give me a. Well, give me a con times 5 check.
Oh, great. No. Nope.
All right, it is. You are going to be stunned for a little while, so you don't know. I'll let you know when you're done. You're spazzing around. So, Tim, you made your
Yep.
check, and you look back down the hallway and you see, oh shit! They tased Allison. Philip shot at him, missed, and there's another guy. There's 2 lunatics. Those 2 guys in suits that you saw earlier there. So what do you want to do?
I got a clear view.
Yeah, both of them.
Alright.
The one further down the hallway. Basically, though, don't crit fail. If you crit fail, you're behind Allison and Philip. So if you crit fail, you will. Yeah, you will probably hit Philip because Philip is still standing. Allison is on the ground, so she's a much smaller target.
I'm still taking the shots. Fuck it.
Yeah, no, go for it. You can actually, you can make all 3 shots because that's all you're doing.
10 out of 50, 46 out of 50, and 4 out of 50.
Okay. Well, you have to roll damage one at a time. Actually, before you roll damage, who are you shooting? How are you splitting up the shots?
2 on the one tasering, and
Okay.
the other one gets the spare.
Okay. So go ahead and roll damage for the 2. Actually, they will both get a chance to dodge because they do
Okay.
see you. Because you're not like. First one fails, and then second one fails, and then third one. They all fail. They're not great at dodging. So you hit with all 3. So go ahead and roll damage.
Okay. Alright, the first one was an impale, so 13 damage.
Okay. Is that the guy that was tasering Allison?
Yeah.
Alright, he's dead. So just roll for the other guy.
Alright, so the 46 goes into him, but he's already dead meat. So 4 is also an impale, so 4 damage.
You only do a total of 4 damage. He is still alive, actually.
Rolled a 3 and a 1.
Yes. He is limping along. And he's definitely within taser range now. Let's see here. He is going to taser Philip. Let's see here. Philip, you need to make a dodge check.
I can try. 2. So I make that.
You do. You were like, oh shit, I don't want to get hit by that. So you matrix out of the way. Allison, you're on the ground writhing in pain. But the guy that was tasering you falls down dead. So good job.
At least I didn't shit myself.
Yes. Tim. Let's see here. Actually, first off, Philip. What do you want to do? There's still one guy standing. The guy that just tried to taser you.
He's right in front of me, right?
Yes, he's about 10, 15 feet away.
Yeah, I'll just shoot at him.
All right, go ahead and roll. You get 3 shots this time because that's all you're doing.
Miss. And now I hit 1.
All right, go ahead and roll damage.
I softened him.
Wait, he does get a dodge check because I don't want to get shot either. But he fails. Dodging bullets is hard. Believe it or not.
9.
9 damage doesn't. This is a new round, so that's why he gets the dodge. You get a 1 dodge per round. 1 successful dodge per round, so you can keep trying until you actually make your 1 dodge. All right, so you hit him and kill him. Tim, you were focused on shooting your gun, so you didn't hear the door open, and you were shooting your gun. So the guy that was ambushing you heard all the gunshots. He's like, well, fucking, I'm just going to go in. And is he going to do anything? Come on.
Suicidal cultists.
So he has to get around the boxes.
Well, yeah, but he has a clear line of sight, and he has a ranged weapon, so...
Okay.
Yeah, he tasers you. Give me a con times 5 check.
All right. Con of 17, so 85.
All right, so you're... well, you hold on to your gun, and you're only stunned for 1 round. Allison and Philip, you cannot make listen checks this round because you're gunfire in a small space.
Probably should have brought our earplugs for this.
Yeah, well, lessons learned. Allison, you recover from being tased. You can regain.
Thank God.
Yeah. So, what is your first action?
Well, I'll grab my gun.
Yeah.
And can I shoot at the guy who just came in?
Actually, you'd have to make a spot hidden check to realize your comrade is in trouble because he's behind you, and you're kind of distracted by the 2 people who just tried to, they just got murdered in front of your eyes.
Yeah, 43 under 75.
Okay, yeah, you look over and you see him spazzing out, just like you were. But you do not see his attacker.
Hell no.
His hacker is around the corner, so that is your action. That's all you can do. But you can yell a warning to Philip. Philip, you see your friend your fellow agent being tased. You could run over and get 1 shot off at the attacker, or you could try something else if you want to. It's up to you.
No, I'll step around him and shoot at the attacker.
Okay, go ahead and make your attack roll. This will be in point blank range, so just don't crit fail.
Woo! Yeah, I do not make it, but yeah.
Well, with
No,
point blank, you double your skill. Would you fail even with a doubled skill?
No, I make it then. I make 56 out of 70.
All right, you hit him. Go ahead and roll D10 of damage.
3.
3, you wound him. Ugh. So he realizes he's not going to be able to kidnap Tim's character. He was moving towards him to try and grab him, to keep tasing him and just pull him over, but that's not working. So he pulls out. He drops the taser and pushes out the door and closes it behind him. So that's his action. He's out of your line of sight. Philip, you're the only one, the best one who can pursue him. So you can chase after him if you want to, or let it go. What do you want to do?
I'll chase.
Okay, you push out the
Can I
door.
throw one of the tasers?
Well, that's your action if you want to do that. You can grab one
I'll
of the.
throw Philip a taser so he can give chase.
Well, no, you have to get it out of one of their dead hands. So,
Oh, true.
yeah.
All right.
So, Allison, you get up. You run down the hallway. You see Philip already ahead of you. Tim, you recover. Ow. That sucked. Philip, give me a spot hidden to see which way he went.
No.
All right, you don't know which way he went. He could have gone down the way towards the exit or further. Like, there's multiple. There's basically a storage facility with multiple buildings that are basically identical. You're not sure how many there are, and it's surrounded by a fence, as far as you can tell, with barbed wire on it. But maybe there's a way out. So you don't know. He could have gone towards the way you drove in. There's a keypad with a gate that you punch in numbers to open the gate so you can drive in, or you could head deeper in the facility, or like look around the other building. So basically, yeah, left towards the car entrance exit, or right toward deeper into the storage complex.
I try the car exit.
You're going to cover the exit?
Yep.
Okay, you rush there. You give me another spot hidden check.
Yeah, maybe there's blood around or something. Do I make that? I don't see. No, 44 out of 42.
Okay, so you are looking around, desperately trying to find a clue. Allison, you get out next. Did you grab a taser or not?
Yes, I did.
Okay, so that slowed you down a little more. So when you get out, you see Philip rushing down left towards the exit. Are you following with him, or what are you going to do?
I'll go the other way.
Go the other way? Okay.
Yeah,
give me a spot hidden check.
Yes, 69 out of 75.
You see blood drops heading towards the right. So you head towards the right. You follow after them. You come up. Give me a listen check. At a negative 20, because fucking gunshots.
Yeah, still make it. 12.
All right. You hear the sound of a dumpster being hit, like dong, like maybe somebody just jumped up onto it or something. You peek, so you hear that up and to the left, around the corner of a building.
All right, I'll go that way.
All right, so you just run in. So you run in, and you see the guy. He is on top of a dumpster, and there's a thick blanket thrown over the barbed wire, and he is climbing over it. He sees you, though, and he is going to get a wild shot off at you to try.
Oh, he's throwing his gun. Shit.
Well, they had guns, too, but they wanted to capture you. So give me a dodge check. He rolled a 20 out of 60.
55 under 72.
So you take damage.
Okay.
Well, I mean, you failed your dodge check, right?
Yeah. I succeeded, but is it lower or higher?
Oh, yeah, it's lower.
Okay, so he won.
Yes. If you always have to roll over. Oh, no. Oh, your dodge is 72?
Yes.
So you made it.
Right.
Oh, yeah, no, you dodge out of the way.
Okay.
So you duck back into cover. Bullet hits you. Philip, you can give me a listen check.
-2 or regular?
I would say it's a gunshot. It's really loud.
I don't make it anyway.
Okay. Meh. Where the fuck is he? You're just pumped with adrenaline, and you're like, where the fuck is that asshole? You're just how could he have gotten out? So you missed the gunshot. So Tim, you've recovered at this point.
Yep.
You pop out the door. Give me a spot hidden check.
Shit. Okay. No, roll. 16 out of 50.
All right, you see the blood drops. You assume that's the way your other agents went, so you chase after that. You're much closer than Allison, so you hear the gunshot. So you start running after her. So Allison, you're behind cover again. What are you going to do? Give me a listen check, actually, too.
All right. Listen. Up 2 under 75.
Okay, you actually hear the wire bend, and then you hear feet hit the ground and scuttling off. So it sounds like he got over the fence. And then you hear the sound of cloth being ripped off of it. So it looks like he ripped the blanket off. So he starts running.
I'm just gonna pop out and shoot him with my Glock.
All right, this is
because he's got a gun. I'm not tasering him.
All right, he is
behind,
way behind cover because he's not only like there. on the other side, it is not a clear. There is actually trees and brush and stuff like that. They're actually near sort of an overgrown field with some debris, various things. It's a trashy part of Seattle, so it is. He has ample cover. You're shooting him in the dark while he is moving away from you. So roll and tell me what your margin of success is. Let's see. Your handgun is at
60.
60. Where is your handgun? Oh, there it is. Yeah. So go ahead and roll and tell me what you get.
All right. Can you get all 3 shots?
No. You get 1 shot at him before he is out of your line of sight at your current position.
That's a no. 66.
Oh, 66. Yeah. Your shot goes wide. It pings off a nearby metal building, and then he goes out of your line of sight. You can at this point, Tim, you catch up. Both of you can give me idea checks.
17 out of 85.
Okay.
Yeah. Wait. No, I failed.
Okay, so Tim, you realize you just saw the blur of motion going over the side, so you can kind of figure out what happened. That he got over the fence somehow and he's running. But there's a chain link. There's a chain link fence surrounding the facility. But you realize if you run, you could run to get another. Given the way he looks like he's running, there is one place you could run to the fence and get a shot off at him. If you make a Dex times 5, you would have then 1 more shot at him.
I'll do it.
All right, give me a Dex times 5. Allison, you can run after him and do the same thing.
8 out of 85.
Okay, so you run.
Yes.
You're both just pumped on adrenaline, so you're just booking it. Both of you give me spot hiddens. See if you can see him.
41 out of 50.
That's 40 out of 75.
You both see him, his silhouette running raggedly towards a nearby building. Looks like you both have 1 shot. It will be at -20. But if you hit him, you hit him.
All right.
After you.
I miss.
Okay, shot goes wide.
30 out of 50.
All right, you hit him. Go ahead and roll damage.
Oh, come on. 4.
4. You shoot him in the leg. He goes down. And he staggers down. Shot in the leg, but he tries to stagger up. You realize, you wounded the shit out of him. He's not dead. But you now have a chance to try and catch him. If you can get, how are you going to catch him now? He staggers out of sight. So you wounded him again. What do you want to do? You can give me another spot hidden check.
Yes, I'm spotting it.
Okay.
Nope.
There's a weak spot in the chain link fence. One of you could hold it open for the other, and then you can try and go under it. This is not. There's some problems with maintenance here. Of course, you're probably going to get scratched to shit if you go under that chain link fence, even it being held up.
I'm not the man of action. You should go.
Alright, I'll do it. Aaron Vision.
Alright.
Charge blindly in.
So you don't have to make a check to hold the fence up, but you will take damage. So you're going to do it?
Yes.
You take 2 points of damage as you are cut up and your clothes are shredded by bits of the chain link fence and gravel. Ow, ow, ow. So give me a Dex times 5. Catch up with him.
Yes, 44 under 55.
Okay, you catch up to him. He is staggering, limping into a car that is nearby. Looks like he is reaching for the keys, trying to turn the ignition over. So you could either shoot him or you could try and talk him, freeze or I'll kill you, kind of thing.
Yeah, I'll ready my gun.
Okay.
Shoot him if he starts to draw his gun. It's like freeze or I will kill you.
All right, give me a persuade check to see if you believe. Okay.
40 under 55.
He raises his hands up. Congratulations, you caught him! Good job. All right, so the police do show up because you fired guns outside.
So many shots fired.
Yeah, so many shots fired. So you lose some time to paperwork. You're still.
I will cuff the shit out of this guy.
Yeah. So you basically lose the rest of the night and the morning. You all catch some haggard sleep, couches at the police station as you have to fill out paperwork, sign interviews, have your weapons checked, as you have to come up with a cover story, fortunately. So who's going to provide the cover story for the group? Probably the person with the highest fast talk.
I have fast talk at 45.
I have fast talk at base.
Well,
I
guess
guess
who's
it's me.
doing that?
Um,
So, Allison, what is your cover story? Your FBI
Uh.
credential. You can say you're with the FBI agents. That part you don't have to worry about. But why the fuck were these people shooting at you, and what were you doing here? You clearly don't have a warrant for anything here, and you certainly the group does not want you to mention anything about the green box.
yeah.
Which you did lock up before the police showed up, so they're not going to know about that unless you tell them.
Put them on the defensive. Mention that they heard from somebody that we were there. Your department has leads.
Just like well, we can deal with that. But what's our cover for like being here? Since no warrant, and we were poking around in a storage shed.
You don't have one. You don't have a cover.
No
Shit.
You have to make one up on the spot. What could go wrong?
Could George rent another box?
Not at this time of night. They're closed. It's fucking 10 o'clock. They're closed. All right. Yeah, they don't do that. So I'll give you an idea check.
Yes, on the idea check, 63 under 75.
It doesn't have to be related to the storage facility. You could say you came here to meet with someone, and then it went bad.
Okay.
So what was the meet about, and why did it go bad?
We could also say the guys were following us. And
okay, yeah, you could say you were set up. That's another thing. So what is it?
We could say we're meeting an informant, someone who had information on Gavin Clifton, since we called that in earlier.
Okay, all right, yeah, that is corroborated. Okay, and you were set up. So who is Gavin Clifton? Is he a threat to Seattle? Don't fuck around with us, Feds. We need to know. We don't want our city. You can't shoot up your city like this without good reason.
Could I pull sort of like confidentiality stuff, like nothing leaves this room sort of deal?
Law?
At base.
Does anybody have law?
I sit here at 20, but I can try.
I'm a geologist.
Go for it. Make it roll that 20. I mean, it's better than nothing.
No, 47.
All right. So, Allison, go ahead and give me a fast talk check. This is definitely fast talk. This is definitely not persuading.
Yeah.
Bullshitting, like...
Bullshit.
Yeah.
Come on. Yes! On 8! Under 45.
Nice. All right. You wave enough bullshit about DHS and national security and this and that, that they will not be total assholes about it. But you are still delayed until mid-morning. You do manage to get some sleep, so you don't get much in the way of investigation. But they will let you look at the Clifton Airbnb place first. But first off, let's take a break. I'm going to refresh my drink and all that junk. So you guys can as well. I'll be right back.
Yep.
Well done, guys.
Jesus.
We didn't die yet.
You didn't die or get captured by horrible cultists.
I am a scientist of action.
The green box always is the most dangerous place in adventure.
Yeah.
Well, when you're looking through the creepy shit, you always watch your back. Yeah.
I just find it funny that I did make a character for this game, but it's just a joke character, retreading of the Christian strongman from the last.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
And he actually has skills that would be applicable, like high persuade, high fast talk, high.
I was actually afraid that we would go down in that little encounter. So it would have been nice to have another person, especially a strongman.
Well, I'm pretty strong. I'm just not specialized in strength.
I am not, but I am very dexterous. Basically, I have the stats of an ultra-marathoner and a scientist.
Oh, that's
not,
pretty nice.
Not very sane.
I would say 50 sanity is fairly sane.
Yeah, but this is not the type of person that should go poking at the mythos.
Perhaps.
Well, I understand the science, and I know why it's weird. And that startles me. And then it's all downhill.
Yeah, if you're the guy who's going to make all of the examinations, you're the one who's going to lose all of the sanity.
Yeah. I just figured they'd send a geologist for a geology theft thing.
Yeah. That was a pretty good character made for this, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right, so you did get the Cascadia evidence, or I mean the evidence boxes from the opera. So we're back, and so you didn't totally alienate the police, and you did capture a guy, which is great. So they want to interrogate. Well, first they have to treat him at the hospital because multiple
gunshot wounds.
Barely alive. So they each had 10 hit points. So yeah. So here, what do you want to cover first? The evidence boxes, the interrogation, or the Airbnb?
Still at night, I would call our handler to let him know what happened.
Well, that's a good idea.
George is, well, you survived and you caught someone. That is the most important thing. Do not reveal the existence of the green box. Do not compromise the operational security. I will look into see how the opposition found out about this. It could be through means. It is not believed it is through infiltration. They could have been using unconventional methods to find this out.
Scary shit.
Yeah, well, you're not clear to know that yet, and we have no solid evidence. So continue on with your investigation. Maintain operational security.
Yes, sir.
So those are your three big leads right now. The hat rental, the evidence boxes, and the captured guy.
I'll look at the boxes, because that probably is my forte.
It sure is. You can roll geology.
All right.
I'll take a trip out to the B&B.
All right.
See what I can
beach
pull
house
up there.
I don't know if Seattle actually has beach houses. I assume they do, but it's someplace by, the shore.
Nearby, yeah.
Philip, what about you? Or Kyger?
The guy is ready to be interrogated, or?
He can be made available for interrogation. You can try and ask him questions. They get him pretty quickly. He is in the Seattle local system. He is, random name generator. They've never. These guys have never survived so far. The first time they all died. So let's. Generate. Let's see here. Carl Bailey. Several arrests for vagrancy, petty theft, drug possession. He is a homeless person who has recently had a haircut, a shave, and had a really cheap suit. Now that you look at it.
How about the other ones? Similar background?
Yes, they are. Cheap suits, shaves, haircuts, and yeah, no idea how they got these things. So you could investigate it. Well, no history of violence in any of them, and certainly not suicidal behavior or
Do we
so
want
very
to?
odd. So you
Do we
could.
want to question him now, or do we want to gather information first so we can kind of have more informed questions?
Yeah, you could help go through the evidence boxes. There's a lot to go through. There's 5 boxes worth.
Yeah, I could watch some fun VHS tapes.
Oh yes, fun VHS.
Oh God, yeah.
Don't watch the tapes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess my character with education 19 is a pretty fast reader, so
Yeah.
I'll help with those boxes.
All right. By the way, the guy who identified himself as Edgar was not the capture guy or the 2 that you killed. He is missing. And I assume you did not mention the whole guy claiming to be from the London Met Pole.
No,
Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah.
but we say we want the guy first.
Gavin, sorry.
Gavin and the guy in custody, the one we shot.
Okay. Yeah. You can talk to Carl at any time. So the evidence with you made your geology check.
25 out of 81.
Okay. Looks like we find schematics of a mine which has been closed now in Montana. Because you actually see from the notes that they figured they rigged it to blow up. And so, yeah, they looks like Delta Green, as part of this operation, it looks like they wanted to go into it and then blow it up. And then you find a lot of notes talking about how there were new tunnels found in this mine that look like lava tubes, very smooth, very round, very large, very unusual features for this kind of geologic region. And so that's the first thing that you find out. Philip, you can give me a forensics check to investigate the paperwork and the case notes.
6 out of 60.
Oh, very good. You figure it out almost, well, not instantly, but you figure out very, very relatively quickly. You realize that Delta Green was actually looking into a cult that was operating in Montana. They apparently worshipped some sort of underground god, some god that lived underneath the earth, some god that they called Chthon or Chthon or something like that. And this god needed people as sacrifices. So you start watching the VHS tapes. It looks like the Delta Green agents raided a farmhouse in Montana, seized weapons, strange symbols that were, painted on their little holy books and on the walls and things like that. And they also are interrogating Guy. Where did they take them? Where did they take them? And so you watch all of the interrogation tapes or the interrogation tape, and it looks like the guy was talking about some sort of renewal, some sort of ritual of the grand cycle shall begin again, the rebirth, the renewal, the resurrection of the coming of Chthon is imminent. This guy was a true believer, and Delta Green but he did confirm that we took him down. The cultists took him down to the mine, and when the interrogation is over, the Delta Green agent shoots the captured guy in the head, and they say, let's get rid of the body, and that's when the tape ends. So go ahead and give me a sand check.
No.
All right. You were under the impression that Delta Green was always a legitimate organization, and investigated crimes and arrested people and things like that. But these were bad people, but that was an execution. That's bothering. So that's 2 sanity. You're like, well, that's great. Meanwhile, Matthew, Allison shows up at the house. The police let you in. You find maps of the western region of the Pacific Northwest. You find a line or a circle drawn around a long area about 50 to 70 miles off the coast, off the west coast. And so you also see the word Cascadia written on the wall. So go ahead and so you start searching the house. They haven't investigated the house yet. You can give me a spot hidden check.
Yep, 59 under 75.
All right. You find a loose floorboard and you pry it open in the bedroom, and you find 2 sort of green-looking crystals, but you recognize them. They're made of trinitite, and they have both been carved into specific symbols, like they're sort of geometric shapes now, or like jewel, and they have little runes carved on them. So you see those. What do you do?
I will put them in evidence bags.
All right, you pick them up.
Geologist. Yep.
Give me a sand check.
Oh crap. Yes, 23.
Okay. Everything goes white for a moment. As you pick both of them up, and you as you're holding them, you suddenly awaken and you find yourself on the beach, actually right outside the house. And behind you, you can see a woman and a child.
Oh no.
They're just looking out to the shore as well. You look out at the shore as well, out into the water, and you see it's an unusual sight. It looks like the water is actually retreating. It's receding. The ocean water is going back, and you're not. And so you can give me an idea check.
I'm dreaming right now. I can't run. 3 under 75.
Oh, you remember what this is about? It's a tsunami. So you see the wave. It is building higher and higher. 70, 100, it seems to blot out the sun, and you're just like paralyzed in fear and in awe of just what is happening. And then it freezes. It just the tsunami, as it's about to strike you, stops. But you realize you're in a dream or in a vision. This is not reality. So that's why, because you made your sand check. But it's still a terrifying vision, so you lose 2 sanity. And you realize there is another person behind you. And you hear a voice that says, you can stop this. Bring the shell to bring the shell to us. We will stop this. We will stop Cascadia.
Who's us?
Do you turn around to look
Who are
at
you?
you look and you
Yes.
see a strangely
Oh, no.
androgynous person wearing a robe of some sort. I am acting on behalf of the keepers of the underworld, I guess you could say. You are not. What happened to our chosen messenger?
Was it the Curtis? Dr. Curtis? Was he the one you chose?
I don't pay attention to names.
Oh, well, he's probably dead. If he is.
Then you must carry on the faith if you want this to avoid. If you want to have this not to happen, bring the shell to the site. Do you not know where the site is? Have you not been you?
No, this is all new to me.
New to me. Why? Are you? You're looking. Are you? The messenger was. Perhaps the messenger abandoned this because he no longer needs it. You are. What? How did you find this?
Well, there was this thing under the floorboard, and I attached it to put it in a bag, and then I was here. And then there was a
Why did you
gigantic
find
wave,
this?
and you popped up.
So the crystal was hidden, and why were you looking for the crystal? Or did you just find this by accident?
We were, well,
You can give me a
I
psychology
was,
check.
Nope,
Okay. You know what you know.
did not make it.
All right. You know what you know. What do you do?
Well, I guess this was by accident I came here.
Ah.
I'd
Well,
like to get back. This is really weird.
you want to go back. You are not the messenger. They only they bound me to help the messenger, but they did not bind me. They did not compel me to be so. I will return you only if you swear to break the crystals when you awaken.
Can I lie to him?
You could try. Give me a fast talk check.
Alright. Yes, 31 under 45. I will definitely break the crystals when I wake up. Most certainly.
Very well. I will, until you do though, and as long as the crystals are intact, I will give you this as a parting gift. You will have this dream every night.
Oh boy.
Only you will see how it ends every night. So you wake up. You have 2 crystals in your hand. You're covered in cold sweat now. You're just as
Oh boy. Well, put them in a bag. Just put them in my pocket.
Okay.
Don't tell anyone else about them until I get back to the office.
Okay, sure.
Oh boy.
All right. So you two continue on through the case files. The written stuff seems to be technical, written by Dr. Curtis, and the other two. It seems like the cell of Delta Green agents went down into the mine, heavily armed, but with respirators and other mining safety equipment. But Dr. Curtis, apparently, based on the evidence that he found, seemed to believe that there were. The word xenobiology comes up a disturbing number of times in the paper.
More than once is disturbing.
Yeah, it does. It
It's
seems to indicate that they're extremophile creatures. They thrive in heat and pressure. Water should be deleterious to their physiology. So he actually brings in lots of bottles and containers of water, including an oversized water gun. And so there's someone else carrying the camera, and he's carrying the camera though, the VHS camcorder. So he's recording this, but it's like a found footage horror film. It's hard to understand what the fuck's going on. But it looks like they intercept the cultists. The cultists are looks like they have some people from a nearby farm or something captured, trussed up to sacrifice, to be bled over what appears to be a perfectly spherical, like a pearl, only the size of a basketball, made out of something possibly very hard material. But then Dr. Curtis fires water at that, and both of you can give me spot hidden checks as you're watching the footage.
Okay.
Yes, 4 out of 42.
91 out of 50. Nope.
All right. If you make it, Philip, go ahead and give me a sand check.
Yay! I do not make it, 93.
Okay. You thought that thing that was by the side of one of the Delta Green agents was like a buttress or something like that. It was a long, like pole-like object, possibly to hold up the ceiling. But no, that moves, and you see it wrap around with the agent and just crush him, just instantly. You don't really see it, Tim, unless Philip makes a point to rewind and make you watch it, in which case you
Back
make
into the left.
yeah, back into the left. So you lose 3 points of sanity, Philip, as you realize, oh fuck, that's real. Um, and then it's all gunfire and chaos and water. But you see the egg or the shell, whatever the spherical object, sort of shatter as it's hit with water, and then the thing and Curtis rushes over, grabs as much of it as he can, fragments of it, and then they all rush to the surface. They've rescued a few people. Two other agents make it out, and then they blow the entrance to the mine, trapping cultists in there. And so you get a sense of what happened in the past. There's something down there in the depths. Something that wants that thing back, that thing that Curtis grabbed. So at this point, Allison, you get back to the office.
Oh boy.
So you've caught up as much as you can. Actually, and Timothy, you can give me an idea. Yeah, Allison, are you sharing the information with him? Everything or not?
Yes, I will share everything about the crystals and.
Okay, including that you're going to have the same dream for every night for the rest of your life, unless you break them?
Yes.
All right. Tim, you can give me an idea check.
63 out of 85.
All right. You look at this. You get a bolt of inspiration. You look at checking the seismographs around the state because Cascadia. Actually, you know exactly what that is. The Cascadia fault is a tectonic fault line off the west coast of the Pacific Northwest. It is where tectonic plates meet, and the thing is, everyone thinks about the San Andreas fault and other faults, but on average, every 250 years, this tectonic plate, this fault line has an earthquake in the 9.0 or higher Richter scale. The last one happened on January 26, 1700. They know this because the Japanese keep really good records of when tsunamis hit the coastline, and that's what happened. It hit the Pacific. The earthquake hit the Pacific Northwest, and it created a tsunami that hit all the way in Japan. And due to other evidence, geologists didn't realize this until 1994. So the conservative estimates of casualties when the next earthquake hits are in the tens of thousands. It will be the worst natural disaster in North American history, or of the history of the United States. Because the Pacific Northwest is obviously not very well prepared for earthquakes. So yeah, perhaps if Yellowstone blows, that would be even worse. Well, it certainly would be worse, but still, this is we're overdue for an earthquake, and because it's been more than 250 years, which is on average how often it goes. There have been 40 in the last 10,000 years. So yeah, that's something to give you geologists no sleep at night. Now. It seems the messenger, who you're reasonably sure for Gavin, is her desire to move out of the range of the earthquake zone. Good point. It seemed Gavin was somehow inducted by these creatures. Like, we will stop the earthquake. We can stop the earthquake if you get us what we want, which are those fragments. You're not sure how or why. He was chosen for this, but he was. But you check the seismographs in the state, and it seems that there is some seismic activity in Washington, in the Cascade Mountains, actually, near a place called Leavenworth. There is, in fact, it is in the Tyre River Valley, near a historic site called the Wellington avalanche site. Around 1900, there was a massive avalanche that took a train into the bottom of the valley, and over 90 people were killed. But there's been unusual seismic activity happening there all day, actually for the last 12 hours. Not like earthquake wild, but enough that the seismic sensors that are all over the state can pick up. And there's been some like, what the fuck's going on? There's no fault line there, because this is in the middle of the state, blah, blah, blah. So there's a lot of buzz about that. So you're getting the sense maybe you haven't got the things that these things want, and now the things are opening a big, site, a big tunnel to go so Gavin can give it to them. So you get a sense that that's the basic plan because you piece it all together. So Gavin's trying to save all of the Pacific Northwest. Isn't he a great guy? Or not?
Yes. Save.
Yeah. So you have some things you can do right now. You could, one, tell George everything. Two, you could not tell George everything. Two, you could leave right now to that, or you could do more investigation. What do you guys want to do?
I'm gonna tell George everything.
I concur. Yeah.
We need some heavy firepower.
Okay.
Yeah, we have at least some record of what creature it might be on the videos.
You
And
do?
I show them the scene.
George tells you, thank you for being forthright. Leave the crystals here. We will activate other cells. Do not take them.
What about my strange dreams?
We will deal with that when we deal with that. Stay on
Okay.
We will leave them here.
Take some melatonin.
Give them to the agent in charge. We will assess the situation and try to help you. But we don't have. You are the most. This sounds like an emergency. We don't have time to get someone else. You must go there and assess the difficulty. We will try to activate other resources to be made available to you. Assess the situation. Find your priorities are: 1, to capture Gavin; 2, recover the fragments. 1, recover the fragments; 2, capture Gavin if possible; and 3. The group is advising me to, if Gavin, if there's some sort of ritual here that can stop the Cascadia earthquake, to let Gavin perform it before you recover him. But you are agents on the scene. That is your call. So you need to get there. Yeah, you are in an FBI office, so you can. They have access to standard FBI weapons, hostage rescue team weapons. So you can all get an M4 carbine or a shotgun. Plenty of ammo. Let's see here, handgun ammo. What else do you want?
I want non-lethal ammo for the shotgun.
All right, you can have it.
Do they have anything that could be jury-rigged to be a water cannon of sorts?
Do you have mechanical repair or anything like that?
No.
I have it at 40.
Yeah, you could try and rig something up with that. You can go across the street and buy a super soaker.
64, so let's buy a super soaker.
Yeah, you can buy some super soakers.
All right.
Yeah, that's they don't keep squirt guns. And you can't rig anything up.
Can I get a handgun with some more stopping power?
Yeah, sure. They have some confiscated firearms. They can get you, a deagle. You can have a deagle. So that will be good. Anything else?
Some kind of flashbang or thing
Yeah.
can throw in.
Do you have the throwing skill? Well, everyone has a throwing skill. It's at 20. So
I only have demolitions.
Well, you can use. Well, yeah. Throwing is to like anyone can throw a thing in a general direction. Throwing is to like throw it through a window, or throw it in a tunnel in claustrophobic nighttime conditions, or throw it into the mouth of a giant monster that's trying to kill you. So, yeah. But yeah, with demolitions, you can set up traps and shit like that with it, or blow a ceiling. Actually, you can give me a luck check, Philip.
35, I make it.
With a 35, there are some satchel charges, breaching charges you could actually take and use to collapse a tunnel, if you wanted to.
Yeah.
And actually, you're the geologist, right?
Yep.
All right, so you can pull up. Actually, one of the things George makes available is satellite imagery, and so give me a geology check. You get a site, you get a live view of it, because holy shit, Panopticon, it's working for your benefit.
All right. Still a success. 78 out of 81.
Okay, well, there's good news and bad news. What do you want first?
Bad news.
Bad news, make a sand check.
Oh shit. 99.
Oh my goodness. Give me an idea check.
Oh god. 11. 11 out of.
So you make it. As you just stare in awe at what has become, at what has happened. They have opened up a massive pit at the bottom of the valley, of the Tide River Valley, and you see train cars that are partially sticking into the sides of the pit in sort of a roundabout fashion, almost forming like a spiral staircase all the way down for humans. So these creatures are so they may be monstrous to you, but they are incredibly intelligent and have a natural understanding and control over the forces of the earth that humans can only dream of. Perhaps every earthquake is the result of them flexing their muscle to punish the puny apes that dwell upon the surface. You were just trying to think of the forces of count. So basically, yeah, there are 100-year-old train cars that have been arranged in a spiral fashion along the sides of the pit. So someone could climb down the pit. Possibly. It's not going to be an easy climb, but this just it just all sides in there. It looks structurally sound. It's just impossible. No human technology could do this. You were all just filled with cosmic dread and existential horrors. You're gazing upon it. You're like, how the fuck is this possible? It's a geologist's worst nightmare. So you gain 5 points of Cthulhu Mythos, and you lose 6 points of sanity. As you cannot have any further revelations about it, because you're like, what the fuck?
So I need some alone
He
time.
made his idea roll, so.
I impaled my ideal roll, and I
you realize these things of Chthon, are the true masters of the earth. We live and die at their leisure. They could wipe us out at any time. They could cause Yellowstone to blow. They could cause every single tectonic plate on the planet to go at the same time. It's whatever these things want. They how could we possibly stand against them? So you're just kind of comatose for a while. So you two, you'll recover in time when you get there, because it's a couple hours drive from Seattle. Because you'll have to face it, because you're being ordered to go down there. Yeah, no, it's a great time, because there's a tunnel at the bottom of the pit that leads down at an angle. So the good news is you figure all that out. And there's a creek nearby. Nearby this pit.
We could divert the creek into the pit.
Those two, actually, Matthew and Philip's character actually realize that. You don't. You're just kind of stupefied. Yeah, but Philip, you realize with a successful demolition, you could use it. You only have enough satchel charges to blow either a tunnel mouth or the creek. So you don't have both. Yeah, enough to do both. So, and you'd have to obviously set the things up at the creek before you went down, obviously. The local police also report in that some hikers have gone missing. taken, apparently kidnapped at gunpoint by someone matching Gavin's description. Other people left off, and they went down towards the side of the pit. The police are cordoning off the pit because holy shit, that's scary. And so you guys are the first Delta Green, the only Delta Green agents in the scene or in the vicinity. Other people are coming in, but this scene escalated dramatically. Normally, these things don't blow up like this quickly. And not to say that this is the first time this has ever happened. It's just like, oh shit.
I guess we just go there, or do we interrogate the homeless guy and try to find our British friends, and maybe they can be kind of backup or red shirts?
Yeah, you could wait to try and interrogate the captured guy. That's up to you. I mean, there's a crisis going on right now.
Yeah. Only reason I see interrogating him is getting the Brits on board.
It's your choice. Or you could always split up.
I'm asking my colleagues.
So Tim, you recover by this point. So.
Oh, okay. I was just going to stare into infinity for a while.
Yeah. Well, that's not talking about the pit. So hey, you love talking about that.
Oh, anything else? That's awesome. I think we should go to the pit ASAP.
Okay.
Yeah, sounds like a plan.
I suspect the Brits are not our friends either.
I think so. That sarcastically.
Especially after I shot him.
Yeah. All right. So that's a vote for the pit. Matthew, does Allison have anything?
Could I patch up some of my hit points before we go to the pit? So just back up to 12.
Yeah. You get looked at by a paramedic, and you recover 2 hit points.
Excellent.
Yeah. You'll need every single point.
All right. Hit.
All right, so you all drive to the pit. Woo! So when you get to the scene, the local PD is happy to let the feds deal with this because what the fuck? They don't know what happened to the hitchhikers, or not hitchhikers, just hikers. But it looked like they were heading towards the direction of the pit. So maybe the gunman forced them down the staircase of train cars. So there's that. So all 3 of you can give me spot hidden checks as you're looking at the pit, with your own eyes.
No.
Okay.
Yep.
Are you refusing to, or just no? Oh, I failed.
Okay. So Matthew made it. Phil, did you make it?
No.
Okay, so only Allison sees. Actually, there's someone climbed down with a rope. There's a black rope set up on the side, so someone climbed down or rappelled down quickly. So that's weird. Anyway.
Looks like our friend is here already.
Yeah. So if you want to go down the pit. First off, are you doing anything before you go down?
Yep, I would like to rig the
Creek?
explosive. Yeah.
Okay. Now, how do you want to detonate it? You can either set a timer or set a remote. Now, the thing is, your remote uses radio, and you have a controller to hit it off, obviously, but a remote to hit it off. But if you go too far underground, you won't be able to detonate it because there'll be too much rock in between you and the surface. You don't know how far down that tunnel goes. So you have to
jury rig a repeater?
You could. You do not requisition that equipment at the FBI office. The local PD does have some walkie-talkies and stuff, so that would be an electronics check. Or yeah.
I got it. I'm all over this. 23 out of 46.
All right, you rig a repeater. You set one up at the entrance, and then give me a luck check to see how many you can rig up quickly.
Okay. Eh. 76 out of 50.
You have two. You can make two repeaters. One for the entrance of the cave, which is you can detonate it anyway, but you need one at the entrance, and then so you can set one more up. So probably about a couple 100 feet in, or certainly within close. So you can get a little far, somewhat far in the cave. You don't know how far down that tunnel goes, so
Yeah.
but you'll have some coverage
Yeah.
underground. So yeah. So there's that, and of course they're going to be sensitive to things like bullets and explosions and I don't know, giant monster tentacles. Crazy thought. So Philip, your demolitions is at 60?
No, my demolition is at 30.
30. All right. So for this, because you will not be able to determine the effects of it, I'll have to roll for you. If you crit fail, you obviously will know.
Briefly.
And just for shits and grins, give me a luck check. I
made that.
Okay. Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
All right.
I guess
I feel safe.
I'll tell the group about it being here. Might be useful information for the team that might come in after us.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
Our last will and testament.
All right. So, in order, the missiles may be coming next. The thing is, even though the train cars are set up as sort of a staircase to get down, it's still, they're fucking 100-year-old train cars that have been on the ground for a while. It's still, and they're not precisely lined up, so you have to kind of step from one to the other, and they're at slanted conditions, so it's still possible to fall off. And this is about 100 feet up. So basically, in order to get down, you have to make 2 Dex times 5 checks. Now, the first person who makes one can then, and if somebody else fails, or actually, one person fails, another person can make a Dex times 5 check to catch the other person and help them over. But if you crit fail that assist roll, then you go over with them. So there's a risk to doing it. So we'll do this one person at a time. Who wants to go first?
I'll go first.
All right, Allison, give me Dex times 5.
Yes, 33 under
All right,
55.
you make it over. Who's next?
I'll go.
Nice. Okay.
34 out of 85.
All right, Tim's next. Jumps over, halfway down. Philip.
81 out of 90.
All right. You slide a little bit, but you're fine. As you go halfway down. So one more Dex check. I guess we'll do the same order. So Matthew.
Yep. Yes, I make it.
All right. You're all right. Next up, Tim.
74 out of 85.
All right. Very good. Philip.
77 out of 90.
All right. You're a very dexterous group. Delta Green shows well in this case.
Yeah. Dex, no social skills.
Yeah. So you get to the tunnel mouth. It is a smooth, almost like a volcanic tube. Very rounded.
Oh, that's not ominous at all.
Oh yeah, no, it's incredibly ominous. And is of course pitch black. You do have flashlights. In fact, I'll give you little miner's headlights. That'll be free. But you notice that there are side tunnels that go off to the left and right. But you all three can give me listen checks.
Ooh.
That's a yes.
Okay. With a listen check, you can hear distant, like the echo of a scream of panic or something like that.
Uh-oh. Is someone panicking down there?
Yeah. So, what's your game plan? Are you all trying to sneak down there, or are you just running it? One scout up ahead, all close, close to each other. I don't know what.
Well, I'll take point with Deagle ready, just in case monsters jump out. They
Okay.
eat me first, then you can shoot them and get the hell out of there.
Okay. So Allison's out by her house. Are you going single file then, one at a time, or are Philip and Tim? Are you side by side?
Let's go single file, I would say.
Okay. So who's last in line?
I can be tail end. Do you want to be tail end, Charlie, or should I?
You go tail end. I'll go in the middle.
Okay. All right. Let's see here.
I load my non-lethal rounds into the shotgun.
Okay. So you're heading down there. Tim,
Yes.
give me a listen check.
Oh. All right. 20 out of 50.
20 out of 50. Okay. All right. This was an opposed check, and you succeeded by 2. You had a better margin of success by 2. Good job. So you hear a very quiet footstep behind you, and then another one.
I click my throat mic twice.
Okay. Both of you hear that. Both of you can give me idea checks to see if you recognize the significance of that.
No.
Yes, I do.
All right, Philip.
I think he's just clearing his throat. So keep
Allison
forward.
can give me another listen and check. She's listening for trouble up ahead.
Oh yes, 5.
Okay, give a sanity check. You hear, oh God, don't kill me! Don't kill me!
I make my sanity.
All right, you're gonna save him. Everything's gonna be fine. Anyways, so Tim,
Yep.
someone seems to be sneaking up behind you, and they're close. They're not using any light, as far as you can tell. You're not trying to, alert them that you know that they're there. You have approximately, you know approximately where they are. Right behind you, just coming up on, maybe 15, 10 feet, getting close every second. What are you doing?
I'm waiting for the big guy with the gun to spin around.
You don't know that. Okay, so you're hoping your teammates know what they're doing.
Yes.
All right.
I am praying.
All right, you're just there, Philip. Tim alerted you that something's happened. Give me a listen check at a minus. This 20 penalty.
No.
Okay, you don't know what he's alerted to. You're farther away because you're not right next to each other, and the guy's quiet.
Yeah.
And Allison just,
They're fine.
Yeah, Allison, I assume you alert your comrades. You heard there's, the whisper.
Yeah.
Allison's talking at the same time, so you can't hear it, so you don't know what to do. So Tim.
Yep.
Okay, you're just there. So you feel a gun barrel pressed to your temple, and you hear an English voice. Stop moving and put your hands behind your head.
All right.
Say nothing. All right, so Philip, you can give me a listen check at base now.
Nine, so I make that.
Okay, Tim, stop moving, and you hear a whisper. You can't make out what it is because it's a whisper, and you're about 20 feet away. But Tim stopped moving. What do you do? I assume you're moving at a steady rate, so you're not trying to act unusual. But he's behind you.
I guess I'll spin around and point my gun at whoever that is there.
Okay. You do that. You see Edgar behind Tim, and he says, "Drop the gun, or I'll kill him." He has a gun
was
pointed.
just about to say the same.
Wait a minute.
Wait.
Nine.
Allison, you clearly hear that there's no check to make that, but you're
Huh?
even further up ahead. You're 30 feet up ahead, and in fact, you can see light coming from below you, sort of reddish tinted light. It looks like the tunnel ends and opens up in a larger chamber. Tim, by the way, give me a luck check.
Oh no. 81 out of 50.
All right, you didn't set up the repeater yet. You forgot to, mainly because like, oh shit, someone's sneaking up behind me. But this was about the distance where you needed to set it up. Anyway, this is a very interesting situation. So Edgar is very crouched. You can barely see his eye. He's taking almost total cover behind Tim's character. And Philip, you're using a shotgun, so it really doesn't matter. You know, if you shoot them, you're gonna hit both of them, or none of them, or just Tim. So he's telling you to, no, it's kind of was appropriate. So he tells you to drop your weapon, or he'll kill Tim.
Yeah, and I tell him to drop his weapon, or I shoot him.
Okay. Let's see here. He actually. All right. What's your dex?
My dex is 18.
Okay. He is. Let's see here. Tim, you feel another gun barrel press against your back. Philip, you can give me a spot hidden check.
I do make that.
Okay, you see him reach over with his left hand, and it looks like he's putting a pistol in his back. And then, so that's his first action. What are you going to do?
Take the shot.
Yep.
Oh God.
Yep. I
Shoot
guess
the hostage.
Okay. All right, Phil, make an attack roll.
What is the basic thing for a shotgun?
30%.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
You're just outside point blank.
36.
36. It misses. It's dark, and it's very hard to get depth perception in a pitch black tunnel where you're only using, flashlights. So you actually miss, believe it or not. The gun goes wide. Tim. Oh wait, you're right. It is dex of 18. I did say, give me a. Actually. Yeah, Bill, go ahead and give me a luck check. No, I'd say it's dark. It's dark, and that sort of negates the whole point blank rule. So I'm going to say normally he would get a double his gun skill, could be point blank range, but hats with lights, it's very hard to see exactly where to point the gun. You're also at a slope too, and yeah. So I'm going to say he does miss. So Tim, let me look at your character's dex. He misses. All right, this is your one chance. You get to act first. What are you going to do?
Well, he didn't tell me to drop the gun. He told me to put my hands up. My gun's still in my
behind
hand.
your head.
Cap him in the head.
You can't. Your hands are behind your head.
So
he's pointing the gun at your head. He actually put it behind your head. So
but he's crouching down.
Well, he's like half crouched, so he's got the gun at your head. Your option, your gun is not in your hand. If you want to draw your gun, that would be your action.
Pull a flashbang off my LBE and drop it onto the ground.
Okay. Interesting. Everyone is blinded. So he will actually have to roll to hit you. He will not automatically kill you. So good job on that. So he opens fire both at you and at him. He's just pulling the trigger as many times as he can. So let's see here. He does hit you once, Bill. I'm sorry. Yeah, he hits Bill, Tim's character, in the back, because that was still dug into your back. The other bullet goes wide as he's trying to shoot Philip with it. You're all blinded. You don't have a chance to save because your eyes are, Allison gets a chance to save.
Okay.
Allison, give me a Dex times 5.
All right. Yes, I make it.
Okay. You hear the ting, and so you turn away. So you're blinded, but not blinded as badly. Tim.
Yep.
You take 8 damage.
Does the body armor take anything off of that?
Nope. Wasn't aimed at your body armor. And actually, I don't think you guys had. Well, you didn't specify body armor, but I guess that's reasonable that you would have it. Con of 18, size of 9, so 28 divided by 2. You had 14 hit points. So 14 minus 8. So you're having a bad day. And let's see here. And then you can't see what happens. So all 3 of you are staggering around, gunfire. Allison, you hear a monstrous. You actually can't really hear much of anything. So we'll do this round by round. You hear screaming. You're sure of that. You're not sure of anything else. What are you going to do?
All right. I can't see shit.
Nope. You can stagger forward away from where the flashbang went off, or which is the direction you're facing, or you could turn around. I'll
go forward.
All right, you stagger forward. We'll see how well you recover next round. Philip, what are you doing?
Do I still have an idea where Edgar is?
Somewhere in front of you.
I have a shotgun. Good enough.
All right. Roll.
No.
What would you roll exactly?
66.
Okay, yeah, it goes. Psh, it hits the ceiling. More loud noises. All right, Tim, what are you doing? The guns shoot you in the back. Ow. That's not where your vest is focused on. But then you lose both. No, the guns aren't pressed against your back anymore. So you don't know where he is in relation to you.
I'll spin in blind fire while
Okay.
trying to get away.
All right, you get 1 attack at. Actually, no, you can get your full 3 attacks. So just tell me exactly what you roll.
Okay. 24, 33, 36.
You don't have any. You don't hear anyone screaming. So you probably missed, unless they just fell over. You hear more gunfire though. Let's see here. Let's see here. More gunfire. More bullets. You can't hear anything else. So, Allison, give me a con times 5 check.
Oh boy. Nope.
Okay,
Just
you're
miss.
still blind. Give me a luck check.
Dear. I make a luck check.
Okay, you feel hot steam, so you stop moving. You stick your arm out, or your foot steps out. You realize you're about to step over into like a steam vent. That would have been bad. You can give me a listen check.
All right. Listen. Yeah, I make listen.
You hear a monstrous roar, and the
God.
earth moving around you. Give me a sanity check. Well, you also hear 2 people like, "Help! Help us! Help us!" coming from ahead.
I do not make my sanity.
Okay, you're in a room in some sort of. You're blind. There's a giant fucking monster of some sort. You're having a really bad fucking day. I'm gonna say that's half the normal value because you can only hear it. All right, that's 9 sanity. That's fight or flight territory. So you can either blind fire wildly, or scream and hide, or run back and retreat out the tunnel. Well, this is not even this is he doesn't see the monster yet, so he doesn't get the idea check. He has to see it in order to get the full revelation. I'm going to rule. So,
I'm
what do
gonna
you want?
blind fire.
Yeah, it's fight or flight at this point. Instinct or some sort of instinctual action.
Yep, I'm gonna shoot it.
All right,
With
so
my
you're blind
deagle.
firing because you're still blind.
Yep.
So you're using a handgun, but you're
Yep.
using the deagle. You only get 1 shot per round with the deagle. It has more recoil. So go ahead and roll and just tell me
It's
exactly what
big
you roll.
and powerful and makes me feel safe.
Yeah.
Hot
Um, wow. Okay, no, you get it. You hear which you now you can somehow realize is the sound of a human head exploding from a deagle bullet. And then you hear, "Thank you, oh God!" And the roar intensifies.
Oh god.
So that's your action.
Way to go.
Philip, you can give me a con times 5 check. Actually, no, you have 1 more round of blinding because you know he only get So next round you'll be able to make a con times 5 check. But you get an action. There's just chaos in front of you. You hear a roar from behind you. Gunfire from behind you. Things are bad.
I think I'll step sideways with an arm outstretched, trying to find a wall so I can orient myself.
Okay, give me Dex times 5.
70 out of 90.
All right, you find a wall. Good job.
Yay.
So, Tim, what are you
Yep.
gonna do?
I think I'm gonna run back the way I think we came.
Okay, good job. Give me Dex times 5.
09 out of 85.
All right, you start trucking up. It's an upward slope. Hey, that's pretty easy to figure out. So let's see here. There's no more gunfire. But there's still too much noise for you to really make listen checks about like footsteps or figure out where someone's moving. So let's see here. Let's see here. So new round. Allison can now make another con times 5 check with the plus 10 bonus.
Alright.
See how.
No, I'm still
You-
blind.
God,
Still
damn.
blind. Well, this is going to be bad for you then, because you don't get a dodge check. So let's see here. Oh,
Oh god.
that's a 2. The Chthonian,
Oh.
you feel something denser than rock and stone wrap around your body. And let's see here. Well, it's a blunt attack, so actually you can't impale, but you can't dodge it because you didn't see it coming, literally. So how many hit points does your character have?
I have 12.
You took 13 damage. So your character is just pulped, and you hear screaming. So that's it for Allison, unfortunately. So the Philip, let's see here. You recovered. Now you can make a con times 5 check.
I can't.
All right, you're still blind. Flash pangs are disorienting, but you found the wall, and you hear screaming coming up from behind you. Panicked running, maybe. You know, lots of footsteps. You can't tell much else. You would have to make. You can make a listen check if you want to just focus and try and figure out what the fuck's going on, or
Yeah.
but that would be your action. If you want
I'll try that.
Okay, give me a listen check.
97.
Stuff is happening. So Tim,
Yeah.
same thing. Did you recover? You can now make a con times 5 check to recover from the flashbang.
Okay. Where'd my dice go? Okay, there it is. 53. Made it.
Okay. Guess who else can make a roll to recover from the flashbang? Okay, so Tim, what is your action?
What do I see?
So is that your? Well, you see that you are heading the right way. You're going up towards the light. It's a straight shot up or down. So and it's still daylight outside, and daylight reaches the bottom of the pit just barely. So you can see that you were going the right way to go up. So you get that for free because that was the way you were facing. If you want to stop and look around, that would be your action. If you want to keep running, that would be your action. If you want to do something else, let me know.
Okay. Pull out the transmitter for the
repeater.
Detonator. Yep.
Okay.
And
Set
try
it.
to look around. Well, right now I was at the edge, right, where I needed to set it.
Yes.
So if I ran further back up, I'd be in range.
Yeah, that's true. But you didn't have the detonator, or who had the detonator, by the way? I guess I should have specified before you guys went down. Because you had the repeater. I would assume Philip, as the demo guy, would have it. I guess if you make a luck check, Tim, you could have a spare detonator.
47 out of 50.
All
I
right,
was the one who cobbled them together.
Yeah, you could have a detonator. So yeah, you think you're in range right now. So you could, if the thing is, the repeater is bulky enough that you have to holster your gun if you want to like take it out to set it up. Well, yeah, it's a one-handed thing. So you could have your gun in one hand and your the repeater in the other hand. But you definitely need both hands to set it.
Okay.
No, it's a technical task.
All I wanted to do was just pull it out, have it ready.
Okay.
And my full action would be to look around.
All right, give me a spot hidden.
Okay. 40 out of 50.
Okay, so you made it by 10?
Yep.
Okay, you don't see anything. Well, actually, you do see something. You look around, you see Philip. Philip's character is sort of like blinking, still holding onto the wall, his shotgun in his other hand, still trying to figure out. You also, they wouldn't be up there yet. You can give me a listen check.
Okay. 27 out of 50.
It's very obvious to hear two people running up the slope very fast. Like, or more than one person. Like, that kind of thing. So more than one person. Let's see here. I am going to say he's done fucking around. And there's still two of you and one of him. So he's just going to shoot you. But you will get a dodge check. So the bad guy jumped into the side tunnel and stopped and recovered this round as well with a 6. So he's like, oh, there you are. So he will shoot first time. And he will hit with a basic attack roll. But you can hear the clicking of the gunfire. You look over and you can try and duck to the side. So give me a dodge roll.
All right, what is my dodge?
And you will use your body armor this time because you're actually being shot from the front.
34 out of 45.
All right, so you dodged the first shot. So he's using semi-auto pistol too, so he gets 3 shots. Second one will hit.
All right.
And third one will hit. So
okay.
Both of these. Let's see here. Ow. Your vest has 6 points of armor, I believe. So he rolled 2 9s, so it's 3 and 3. That will put you at 0, I believe, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
So you can give me a con times 1 to stay conscious. I will allow that.
47 out of 18. Nope. Or 18 out. Yeah, whatever. I didn't make it.
All right. Oh God. Your ribs are broken, and the pain overwhelms you. You go into shock, and you stagger to the ground. You are savable by first aid, if Philip. So Philip, new round. You hear gunfire off to the side. Give me a con times 5 with a +10 bonus.
No.
Okay, you're
God
still
damn
blind. That flashbang really sucked. But you did hear the approximate location of
Yeah.
the gunfire.
Shotgun blast in that direction.
Okay, give me a shotgun roll. And tell me exactly what you get.
45.
45 does not hit. That would be a failure. Your skill's only 30. You're certainly not in point blank range now.
Finish the job.
So you fire the shotgun in the right direction, but it hits a wall instead of him. Yeah. So you could blindly charge the right direction. I think your shotgun. You fired it what 3 or 4 times now. There's probably
3 times.
3 times. Okay. I'd say there's probably 5 in the tube if you're using a standard pump action. Usually there's 5 or 6 in the tube. So you're not running out. So you could charge the direction to get point blank. Or you could take cover. But he is going to fire at you because, oh shit, and he can see. So first one misses. Second 2 and 3 will hit. I will say you do get 1 dodge because you're being under fire and you can take cover and just spaz out basically. Probably rolling around in the dark.
Yeah.
So go ahead and give me a dodge check.
Yes.
Okay, you dodge one of them. So 1 hits you for 8 damage. Your vest absorbs 6 of it. So you take 2 damage. Ow, that fucking hurt. But he's using a pistol. Yay! So it's coming down to the wire. Well, you hear the monstrous roar again. That time's unmistakable.
Yeah.
So new round, Philip. You get another action check, or you get another this time con times 5 plus 20.
That's what I make.
All right. Oh, I can see again. Everything. Oh, it's all dark. And you look up. You see two people like hikers that have been bound at the wrist and are just panically running up. And then they've stopped. They're huddled behind you because there's someone shooting up ahead of them. They're like, they're looking at you because you're dressed as a cop or as in tactical gear. So looks like you found the hostages. Or they found you. Really, they found you. So they're panicked and scared, and they're looking at you with need in your eyes. So if you want to act first before he does, you need to give me a spot hidden because you didn't see which side tunnel he's taking cover under. Yeah.
No.
All right, so you don't know which side tunnel, so he will get to shoot you first because he pops up and fires off 3 rounds. But you will get your dodge check. First one misses, second 2 hit. So you can make 1 dodge check.
I don't make it.
Okay. Actually, you can dodge. You can try the other one. You can try and dodge both of them. So give me 1 more.
I dodged the second.
All right, so you're only hit by 1 bullet again. So you only take 1 point of damage. Ow! It's hit by the vest. Your vest is degrading though. It's trauma. It's getting a lot of bullets left. So you can take a shot at. I'd say he's behind cover. So it's a -10. Because he's just popping his arm out to popping part of his head and arm out to shoot you. The rest of him is behind cover. So -10 to hit him. Unless you want to run up and just get in point blank.
Yeah, I think I'll charge him.
All right. I will say you can do that. You will lose any dodge checks next time. So give me a dex times 5. See if you can run up and not stumble over the corpse of your friend.
I make that one with a 60.
All right. So he loses that, and you're in point blank, so you have a 60% chance of hitting. But he will get his dodge check because he can he can spaz out too.
Yeah.
All right. He would.
68.
58 or 68?
68.
So that fails, doesn't it?
Of course it fails.
All right. So you shoot, and oops. Well, that's not good. So you're in point blank. He's in point blank range of you, so he's going to unload. Now he's fired. Let's see here. He has 17 in the magazine. 17 total. 6, 9. This will be 12. So he's running out of ammo too. He'll have to reload soon. But he'll get his 3 rolls. And he gets 2 impales. And let's see here.
Oh shit.
He charged up. I'm gonna say it's a semi-auto pistol. He doesn't have to pump the action. So he will get to go first. So give me a dodge check. You might dodge one of the impales.
I do not.
Okay. Well, this is going to be a lot of damage. So 14 minus 6, 8. 11. So let's see here. 8 plus 4, 12 damage, and then a third one. So he just shoots the shit out of you. If you had made it, you would have, knocked the gun out of his hand. So he shoots you up. That's what happens. No one knows what goes down there. So the hikers eventually leave though, and they escape. One of the hikers escapes.
Yay! My sacrifice wasn't in vain.
But no, it actually was in vain because no one knows that the hiker has a passenger in their head. But the pit seals itself up, and Delta Green has a lot of unanswered questions. And so that ends Cascadia. So do you want me to explain the basic plot of what you missed?
Sure.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
So basically, this involves material from the Delta Green Countdown. So yes, there was Sean involvement. That's what the British guy was.
Haha! I knew it.
Yes, he was a Pisces agent, and essentially, Gavin Clifton was a member of the Army of the Third Eye who had gotten involved, who had actually figured out that the Shan were trying at one point to summon Chthonians or make a deal with the Chthonians to dig up their spaceship, which had crashed in England, and that's sort of part of the whole thing behind the Shan. And this drove him temporarily mad, so he fled England, hid out in America, but eventually the Chthonians, kept sending him messages through his dreams. And so when Gavin settled in the Pacific Northwest, they kept saying, we're going to sink, we're going to destroy, the Pacific Northwest is going to be destroyed unless you get us the egg, because Delta Green stole one of the Chthonian egg shells. And the Chthonians wanted it back so they could resurrect it, so they could have a new young Chthonian. So Dr. Curtis spent the rest of his career trying to figure out what the fuck a Chthonian egg was, and didn't make a whole lot of progress. And so Gavin but then the Shan found out, through their own supernatural methods that Gavin was active, and so they used a gate spell to just teleport one of their agents in there, brainwash some hobos into being cannon fodder. And that's why the Shan were trying to intercept you. So that was the basic plot. 2 forces, each trying to go for the MacGuffin, and you guys were caught in the middle. That last thing was pretty lethal. If I run this again, or if I write this for publication, I probably will tone it down maybe a little bit. I don't know.
You could have brought in more meat shields.
The first time I ran it, I
could've.
did have 6 players. So I probably should have had some red shirt FBI hostage rescue team or SWAT team guys go with you. Because they sent a full 6 agents down there, and 2 came out, or 1 came out, and the other one. You guys did think I'll post the Cascadia actual play tonight as soon as we're done here. To the Patreon, and then I'll post the full game tomorrow. But there's actually an article in New Yorker that inspired this about the Cascadia fault and how it's going to be a fucking devastating earthquake whenever it happens. So the Shan wanted Gavin. Gavin wanted the shell to give to the Chthonians. and Delta Green wanted the shell back and to kill any Sean. So, but yeah, so that was basically the thing. So, any other questions or concerns or anything?
Oh, it was fun.
Okay.
What if I had popped the creek instead of tried to look around?
Blown up the creek.
Yeah.
It would have stopped the ritual. It would have killed the 2 innocent people. But it would have. You would have lost the egg, but it would have ruined. The Chthonians would have been angry. The Sean would have been killed as well. So you would have killed the monsters. But you would have killed innocent people. So you could have done that. And obviously Philip failed his detonator check with a skill of 30. I rolled a 95.
Oh, so it wouldn't have even gone off. Okay.
No. Yeah, unless you had somebody on the surface. Like basically, what happened in the RPPR playthrough is the Sean showing up at the green box was less creepy. Well, I mean, it was still like it didn't turn into they managed to convince the Sean to back the fuck off instead of like, oh yeah, no, I'll help you. Just wait outside. And so the Sean was like, oh, well, just kidnap those assholes and find out what they know. But instead, the Sean called them later on while they were researching the evidence at the FBI office, and one of the players was like, oh yeah, I'll go out and meet with the guy. And then, they tried to kidnap him there, and that turned out into a shootout with much the same effect. But David's character got run over by the van, and so his character had a broken leg, so he couldn't go down into the tunnel, so he was up on the surface ready to detonate it.
Nice.
Heron's character killed himself with a flare gun.
Breakfast Club? Oh my gosh!
He did this because he metagamed. He's like, "That's a Sean. Sean will be killed by bright light." And then after he does that, like, Aaron, that's fucking UV light. It's sunlight. The flare gun doesn't kill him. And now Bill's character is now possessed by the Sean. So good job. So basically, if you killed Edgar, then you had the Sean. And if you didn't kill the Sean, it would have possessed you, and then it would have been bad. So
yeah, well, we killed ourselves with a flashbang, basically.
Yeah, the flashbang was not the best idea.
Well, I'm not the tactical guy. I'm a geologist.
Well, no, that's
to be
true.
fair, the flashbang could have turned out quite all right if
you had made your checks a little better.
If I had better con.
Oh, and Allison, Matthew, your character with the 1, you headshotted Gavin. You killed him. Just
interrupting the ritual.
I decided you had to kill Gavin instead of the Chthonian because the Choni was going to kill by that, and but you didn't recover in time to dodge the tentacles of the Chthonian, just basically squeezing your blood over the eggshell to resurrect it. So good time was had by all.
I do have a question.
This was fun.
How did the Sean know about the green box?
The Sean didn't know about the green box. They knew about your character's involvement. They used psychic and supernatural scrying to let us know. Basically, they had essentially a mystical alert, like whenever someone hunts for Gavin Clifton, let us know who they are and where they are. So as soon as you guys started hunting for Gavin, plus they also had their own ties into the defense network through the British. The British and America do share intelligence. Through computer networks. So as soon as you put out the alert for Gavin, it was only a matter of time before the Sean were keyed into you.
So if nobody cares about Gavin, it's technically possible for them to not show up.
Yeah, if Gavin's never if no one is ever alerted to Gavin, of course, if no one's ever alerted to Gavin, you can't. It's much harder to find like his
house,
safe house where he has the crystals. Yeah. And the crystals will basically, if you broke the crystals, it would have released an evil, inhuman spirit from. Have any of you read the story The Mound from H.P. Lovecraft? Yeah. So one of those guys was basically enslaved by the Chthonians to act as a messenger, to or as basically like a recruiter to make sure Gavin knew to get the eggshell. So it was driving Gavin mad.
So it was a right call to just, I'll let you out. Nope.
Yeah, it would have driven Matthew's character insane had you lived, which is why Delta Green is like, no, you're fine. You're probably not going to live through this anyway, so whatever. Just don't break those crystals. But in the RPPR playtest, they actually break the crystals. And then the spirit gets possessed by a stray cat, and then they let the stray cat go.
Did Aaron break the crystals?
I can't remember who breaks the crystals. Probably.
Sounds like an Aaron thing.
So Dr. Curtis,
Yeah, he was a Delta Green friendly.
where does he get his Cascadia dreams?
He was in close contact with the Chthonians, and so once the Chthonians know you, they can just keep sending you psychic dreams like Cthulhu until you do what you want or go crazy. So Curtis was resisting them instead of being susceptible like Gavin. So, but he knew it was only a matter. That's why he was researching the eggshell, because he thought that was the key to stopping the earthquakes from happening. So, yeah. He has his own PTSD from the whole thing anyway, as well.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. Anything else?
No, this was great.
Cool.
Yeah.
This was a
That
very
was
fun
very
game to listen to
enjoyable
and comment
first.
to on the side.
Yeah.
I hope I wasn't too distracting.
Oh no, it was fine. It was all I'm sure for those listeners, if I make a comment referring to something that's not mentioned at all, it's because we had a listener who was we had someone in the peanut gallery making comments.
Hatwood lights.
We
Yeah.
also had the text chat going on a little bit too.
Yeah. So I don't know if that can be saved or if that's archived or not, but anyways, I will copy that and see if I can save that for the benefit of the listeners at home. All right.
Post the chat log.
Value.
Yeah. So if there's nothing else, I will stop the broadcast and we'll talk to you guys later.
All right.
Yeah.